gostam mais, eu já nem estaria aqui. Mas eu joguei pra fora toda a minha valentia. Não saio dessa porta jamais. Me usa e me abusa com amor.
Okay, welcome to Let's Talk Kizomba. This is a live online talk show for you, the dancer, DJ, promoter, organizer, and teacher. We aim to raise awareness on all topics and subjects surrounding the Kizomba scene. Join us on the show. Submit your questions to the panel. It's more than a conversation. Your dance, your opinion, your show. Now, guys, just some housekeeping rules for those of you who are listening. Please try not to get personal. And if you do, try to back up your argument, but we prefer that you don't get personal with the panel and your enemies or friends. Okay, welcome to the show, everyone that's listening and watching. First of all, I'd like to introduce you to our panel and guests. First of all, we're going to go to Andrea. Andrea, can you please just, for those that haven't listened or watched before, tell us about you and your role in the Kizomba community.
Good afternoon, good evening. My name's Andrea. I am the host of Let's Talk Kizomba. I've been dancing probably more years than I care to remember. Started off when I took the wrong turn at the Great El Grande. I went into the Kizomba room as opposed to going back to the salsa room. And that's where I stayed. I've run my own event. I've taught Kizomba. And yeah, I feel very strongly about supporting the community, the dance floor, the teachers, the promoters, and those new students, those students who've been here a while. Anybody who loves Kizomba.
Thank you. We'll move on to one of our senior panelists, Georgia. Welcome to the Georgia. Welcome to the show. Thank you for having the time for us. So, just introduce yourself and your journey in Kizomba.
Hello, everybody. I am a dancer. I've been dancing salsa for many years, bachata, etc. for many, many years. I went dancing one night, salsa dancing, and I heard music when I was coming out of the ladies. So I walked towards it, and I heard what I now know to be Kizomba. It was actually Tarashinya. And I see the lights are low, and people dancing low and slow, and I started walking backwards. Someone asked me to dance. I was like, eh. And that was that. I was hooked on Kizomba and everything under the umbrella.
Okay, thank you, G. That's a lovely story. It's always a lovely story. On to Emma, another one of our senior panelists. Emma, please introduce yourself to the listeners and viewers. Thank you.
My name's Emma. I've been dancing Kizomba now. I was trying to figure it out, actually. I think it's nearly 14 years now. A friend of mine, I had a hobby in the summer, and my friend said, have you ever tried dancing? I said, no. So I went to a place in St. Albans. I had a little taster class of salsa. I thought, this is nice. A little taster class of bachata. I thought, that's nice. Then they said, oh, there's Kizomba in the other room. And I said, what is that? Went in, that was it. I never went back in the salsa room, never went back in the bachata room. I've stayed in the Kizomba room ever since. I listen to Kizomba every day. I can't listen to normal music. It's awful. And I just love everything about it. I like to look after the girls, make sure everyone's happy. It's nice to dress up, and it's become a massive family for me. So I feel very blessed. And thank God I've not sat and crocheted for the last 14, 13 years. And I've just danced and had a nice time.
Oh, thank you. Georgia and Emma, lovely stories. I can confirm Emma has been dancing at least 14 years because in my early days I remember seeing her, so that's a fact. We're going to move on to another senior panelist, Mr. Silver Fox. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, everybody. As they say, it's now Silver Fox. It's my age, I'm getting grey. But similar to a lot of people already mentioned, my background is actually I was a reggae and soul DJ back in the day. So I did a lot of soul parties, reggae parties, and things like that. I took up Kizomba in 2012, really via salsa. Like Andrea, I stumbled into the Kizomba room at El Grande and thought, what the hell is this? This was 2012, so it's 14 years. And then my life just sort of took off in the Kizomba realm. I stopped doing salsa, and Kizomba's just become a massive part of my life. I've traveled all over the UK doing Kizomba. I've traveled all over Europe doing Kizomba, places that I would never have gone to had it not been for learning Kizomba and sort of growing into Kizomba. I've now been teaching Kizomba for a little over 14, 15 months. So still young and green at teaching. But yeah, I travel a lot abroad, still learning. I still go to classes when I'm abroad. And yeah, I see a lot of things. So I'm hoping that I can add 2 pennies worth. And I've had discussions on this subject with people before. Some might be listening, some maybe not. But yeah, it can be quite a contentious area. So I think we're going to have some fireworks later.
Brilliant. Thank you, Mr. Fox. We're going to go over to our senior host, Mr. Dixon. Super Dixon. Welcome, mate.
Welcome, everybody. What's up? Good to be back on the show. How you doing, everybody? We got a hot topic today. My name is Super Dixon. For those who don't know, welcome. I am probably the youngest, oldest dancer here. I've been dancing since I was since very young, but obviously I grew up since my 7 dancing with Angolan families, and I always had an experience. I grew up in Portugal. I'm from Mozambique, grew up in Portugal, danced Kizomba since young by force, and then by sheer will of wanting to give in into the culture. I moved into the UK 15 years, and my Kizomba journey in the UK started as a teacher, as a DJ, as event organizer, radio presenter, the whole lot. And as always, I do everything for the community, and I also always aim to promote Palop culture. That's why I am always here representing all the flags of the former African colonies colonized by Portugal, obviously. But I'm here to give my expertise in topics from a cultural and a Palop perspective. Looking forward for this show.
Thank you very much, Dixon. We're going to move on to one of our beautiful guests, Letitia. Welcome to the show. Obviously, we've got listeners and viewers here. Would you just like to introduce yourself and just tell us a little bit about your Kizomba journey for the listeners and viewers who might not have met you before? Thank you.
Okay, so I'm Letitia. I grew up listening to Kazav and Zucker's music and compa because my family are from the French Caribbean, St. Lucia, colonized by the UK, but previously 7 times the France. I grew up listening to a lot of other music, reggae, soca. I've danced in carnival a few times. I've also danced Cuban salsa for about 14 years. I still dance it a little bit, but I took up Kizomba 4 years ago and have enjoyed it ever since.
Thank you very much. And you'll be playing a great part in the show tonight. And our other lovely guest, we've got the lovely Novlet, who we believe is an experienced dancer. Can you just introduce yourself, Novlet? Thank you.
Yes, I've been dancing. I first started off doing cross-body salsa and then Cuban salsa. I was at an event in Wales and I went to a workshop, and that's when I stumbled into Kizomba, and I had a lesson where you had to dance with your eyes closed, just basically walking around. I just like the music. I think I've been dancing roughly maybe about 13 years and I really enjoy it. Mm.
Thank you, Novelet. And of course, I'm Gary O. I am the presenter and host on this show. I, like many others, stumbled across Kizomba. I was in 2010, I believe, in Madrid, and there happened to be a festival in a hotel, and I got asked to dance. I didn't know what the hell was going on. Love the music. I believe it was Ghetto Zouk. I now understand what was Ghetto Zouk. Heard the bass and everything, and was totally hooked. Didn't know how to dance Kizomba, obviously. Was basically doing Tarashini moves. Forgive me, everyone. Then I did not see anything about this for another couple of years. Played football with a friend, Francis, who happened to be a teacher at the old Seabos, and told me I should come and learn. And eventually I came back about 2012. So, yeah, that's my journey. And I'd like to say it's lovely stories. And if you do have lovely stories yourself, especially our sisters, please put it in the chat. We love to hear about your journey, and it might give us an idea as to the difficulties you might have been having getting dances or getting noticed in the Kizomba scene. So we'll start the show properly now. I'd just like to go around and just ask, do you believe women in general have difficulties getting dances? Before we move on to our sisters, just a general, because it might be not just the sisters, it might be Emma, Georgia. I don't think it is, but Letitia herself, Novelet. But we'll go to Emma. Emma, if you can start us off, do you believe this is a problem that goes all around all cultures, all races, all colours? Or do you believe so? For you and what you see, you obviously don't seem to have a problem, but the people around you, do you see that they have a problem?
Oh, you think I don't have a problem, Gary? Oh, listen, I've been to events. I've been to events where I've not had a single dance and I've driven home crying my eyes out quite a few times. So you are like, you might see that I do dance a lot. It's mainly because I've always found that if your face isn't recognized, people don't dance with you. So what you have to do is you have to be brave, get out there, ask someone to dance. They can see you can dance. I mean, I was at an event at the weekend and I notice it more. It was a Palop event, and I noticed more. I was quite intimidated. I had to work hard to get dances, and I didn't dance as much as what I usually do at, say, like a regular event that I go to every week, where I do dance quite a lot. So it is. Do you know what? It is a wide spectrum. It really, really is. I mean, I'm always a great believer in that ages plays a big part of all of this. And like I've always said, my crown's not going to fit everybody. So it's getting better over the years where people sort of know me. I help out with demo videos so people know my face, and when they kind of recognize you. But as a stranger going to a place, I think you do struggle as a woman, 100%.
Okay, Georgia, would you like to add to that? I mean, obviously this show is about our sisters, that might get overlooked, but I mean, I don't think this is necessarily, pointing at just one color or one culture. It could be Latinos, it could be Scandinavian.
What was the actual question? Because I got thrown out and had to rejoin.
So the question was, in general, do you think women do actually struggle as opposed to just one particular race or color? Do you believe that? And we're talking about you and the people that surround you, that you see. You see women struggling that are around you.
Okay. First of all, there's some truth in what Emma said, because I've seen that. People that recognize you, I think you get asked to dance more. I went to an event in Bristol last year, or whenever it was, and I did get asked to dance, but far less than I would normally dance. So I have noticed that. there are a lot of women that the venues that we frequent twice a week, there are a lot of women that are waiting, sitting. A lot of women won't ask. So they get very few dances, if any.
Yeah,
I do think age matters. Age is a factor.
I believe so. I believe
Yeah, most definitely.
Okay.
There are a lot of factors, really. I'm not sure how in depth I should go into with this question.
So, yeah, we move to Andrea.
Yeah.
Andrea, that goes to you as well. People like yourself and people that are around you. And I know on a particular event, you guys actually sit literally next to each other. So, around you, does this affect women in general?
The conversation was around Black women, so I'm not sure how we've changed it to include all women. I just want to try and bring us back on topic.
The reason I asked is so we can get an
We
idea.
started off as a point, and then we're going to go into the point.
Yeah,
Don't worry,
exactly,
Andrea.
exactly. Okay, we'll move on. Novlet. So you, as a Black woman, you go to Kizomba. You have ideas of what you want to do when you go out. You want to dance. You want to enjoy yourself. So, being a Black woman, and not just a woman in general, but also a Black woman, do you feel like there is a struggle? Full stop.
I would say 100%. I've heard Black women say, they haven't had a dance. I've seen guys walk up to us and move to the white woman many times, and it's particularly the younger ones.
The younger ones, yeah?
Yeah. I just think to myself, personally, I think that some guys don't have the confidence. They don't know, because I've danced with some guys quite recently, and the guy has asked me, where did I learn to dance? He thought I was an Angolan dancer. And this is just within the last 2 weeks. He really believes that I was an Angolan dancer. He said, you're very fluid in the way you dance.
Mm-hmm.
And the guys that I dance with, they comment the same thing. So I don't really understand what is the problem. Why are the men so afraid to ask the Black women? I just don't get it. Because we're all out just to enjoy ourselves. That's all the key thing. But I think it's getting better for me because I tend to dance a lot by myself, and I enjoy it. And then I get dances.
Yeah, that's interesting. I feel like if you show like you're enjoying yourself or you want to dance, I think it definitely 100% helps you in attracting male dancers to come over. Letitia, quickly on to you. Obviously, a lady of color. Do you feel like you can get a bit of an issue when you go out? Do you feel like you struggle?
I would say that I wouldn't say that I struggle as such, just because sometimes I dance assist. Before, I found the struggle that if people didn't know who you were, then they wouldn't dance with you. But I have, like Novlet said, heard stories from other Black women from the struggles that they faced in dancing, and have witnessed it as well.
Okay, brilliant. So, guys, I want to move on. I want to come to the gentleman on the show, Silver Fox. Do you believe there's an issue with how women approach dancing? I don't know if you want to get your own slant on that, but do you believe that
Well,
the way
let
they
me
approach
answer
it is
the
wrong?
first question because I didn't answer that part.
You're
So,
welcome to answer that.
if you're asking generally speaking, do I perceive that there's a problem? Personally, I would say no. That's my personal view. But yeah, I've spoken to many Black sisters who have said, yes, they do have a problem. I personally think we're getting consumed with this issue about the gender inequality, the gender balance. Sometimes that is going to play a major part in this. Also, somebody mentioned about the ageist thing. Unfortunately, that is going to be a case, and that will impact on why some people are not getting a dance, which is a shame, but that can be a factor. But I don't believe personally that there is an issue. So, what was your second question?
No, I was just saying, do you believe women have an issue with the way they approach dancing, whether their actions, behaviour when they come to the venue, is there
100%.
something in their approach that
Is
is wrong?
100%.
Yeah.
You see, the thing is, when you're coming out to socialize, it doesn't matter what color or creed you are, black, white, green, pink spots, who cares, right? You have to come with an intention, I'm going to enjoy myself. Yeah. You have to present yourself. You have to come and be present on the dance floor. I don't mean sitting down on chairs. I mean, be present, right? Be on the dance floor. Rock. If the music's playing, even if you're not dancing with somebody, rock. Just flow. People are going to come up to you and they're going to put their hand out to accept you to dance, right? So you make yourself presentable. And then if you're still not getting dances, then yes, you got to look at, why am I not getting a dance? Is it potentially how I dress? I'm not saying people should dress naked, but be presentable. Yeah, fully clothed, but presentable. Sometimes it's the skill level of the person themselves. Because some people come to Kizomba who never go to classes, right? And obviously, after a while, people get to know your level of dancing. And sometimes that will be an issue. People look at that and think, actually, I'm tired. And I want to have a dance that is lighter, yeah, or can flow. So I think we've got to look at ourselves within and say, well, why is there a reason why I may not be getting dances? I don't personally believe that it's a color issue. I think sometimes we've got to look how we accept a dance, how we refuse a dance, our own behaviors on the dance floor. Because many reasons why people may get avoided. Yeah. I don't really believe it's a color issue because I know the black guys are not going to come in there and think, well, there's a black woman, I'm not going to dance with her. And I'm sure the white guys are coming in and thinking, because it's a black cultural dance. So I couldn't imagine they're going to bypass a black sister to go to a white woman because I don't believe that's going to be the case. Now, that's my personal take. A lot of our black sisters might feel, I don't agree with that, but that's how we see it. Yeah. Now, we'll touch on some other things later on. Yeah. And this is where I'm going to put my stab vest on and my helmet and some dark glasses. But there's some other issues that may well happen that may cause a problem on the dance scene, which will present people maybe approaching a person to dance with. So, but we'll touch on to that later.
Okay, quickly on to Super Dixon. Do you believe that there's some issue with the way these women are approaching dance, Kizomba?
Right. Good evening, everybody. Sorry if you see me on my phone. I just want to be clear. I'm also one of the hosts, and obviously, I am trying to share the video, the show on YouTube. So I'm the social media guy here. So when you see me on my phone, please pay attention that I'm sharing the show. So if you're watching the show right now, please share on your Facebook. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Let's make everybody tune into the show. Okay. Can you just do the question again so I can be back?
Yeah, so I was asking, do you believe there is an issue with the way women are approaching the Kizomba dance, as in when they leave their house?
Absolutely.
When they get there. Please tell us. Please tell us.
Absolutely. There's the thing is, it's like people are used to, and everybody here in this room at some point mentioned salsa, right? And the thing is, when you speak about salsa, again, when I came to this country and I saw how the salsa party were, I'm like, wow, this is like a matinee. This is like social club. That was my first thought. Okay. So obviously I knew that I was misplaced. I myself felt misplaced, right? And I said, this is not like Kizomba. I understood it straight away. And then when some people started to do Kizomba parties and Kizomba events, they were adapting that same formula to Kizomba, which it's not the same formula. It's not the same culture even. So I don't think it's like, for me, it didn't felt that that formula doesn't work for Kizomba. So when I started to do my events, like adapted to the culture the way it should be. Therefore, I was already teaching my students anyway how we would be if they were in the Kizomba scene. So I teach the etiquette of the Kizomba scene to my guys, to my ladies. I'm teaching them no matter what, even if we're going to a SBK party, salsa bachata Kizomba, it's still a salsa type of party, but my Kizomba students are educated to know how to behave in the Kizomba party. And that would be imagine if they want to travel to the country or they want to go to London, for example, which has a more stronger presence of the culture. I wanted them to be prepared for the eventualities of our culture. Do you understand? So my job as a teacher was to prepare them. I thought I was the only one doing this. I thought I was the only one. I thought other teachers was doing all this job too. I thought everybody's teaching this. Apparently, they were not. Therefore, there's a vacuum of information here that I started to notice that is missing. Therefore, these problems that we talk in our shows, this is one of them that is actually a real problem. You know what I mean? But for real problems, there's always solutions. The problem is a lot of people are not listening to the solutions. One of the things Novelette said, and I remember when I met her in Duke Festival, I think the first very edition, I was actually the one who told her, do not sit on the sidelines. Ignore that chair. Get up, dance. And her and a few of the other sisters were there. They were skeptical to my information. And I said, just please follow my thread, trust the process. They got up. I literally got on the mic. I said, I was actually DJing. I said, ladies, get your asses up, get on the dance floor. And they were like, fine. Novelette was actually the first one. She actually got up first and she started to move. A guy walks into the room. Shay, get over here. Boom. The other ladies saw it. They go up one by one. They got dances. Do you know what I mean? I'm saying, I'm like, and they looked at me like I'm some lunatic. I am a lunatic. I am a logical lunatic. And that's one of the things that it got in their brain. And then since then, every time I see Novelette, she's always dancing, even when she doesn't know nobody. But this is the thing. We have a problem, but that's the approach to the problem. But we need to also talk about the other things that that some of the ladies already mentioned, the young girl problem.
We will come to that. We will come
I guess for now, I think I'm good. But there's a problem, and it's not just a Palop problem. Okay. And it's not just because of the sisters problem. But we're gonna go into that show. I'm gonna hold back. Let's keep going.
Get your stab bricks ready as well.
I'm taking notes, just saying.
Take notes, love. Take notes.
Guys, Novelette touched on, her approach. She don't give two hoots. She's going to start dancing on the side, which is very important. So, Letitia, I think Novelette's already touched on this. So I'll go straight to you. For you, what is your approach? Do you believe your approach is? We might have a different opinion of that, but what do you believe your approach is? So you go with a positive mindset, out you go. I'm going to do, I know you assist with teachers, so it's a little bit different. But if you go out on a social, just dancing night, how do you approach the evening?
If no one's danced with me, I dance by myself, pretty much. And I enjoy the music, especially when I hear Kazab or any French Caribbean music or, some zouk. I will dance by myself. That's how I enjoy it. Yeah, it's pretty much that.
I think that's just a good way. This is one.
She whines on herself.
There's one solution already. You dance by yourself, so we know that is a solution we can talk about tonight. We just want to go to the chat. Hello, Clarissa. Hello, Serena. There was one lovely message in the chat from Pat. Pat is saying, I have observed that considering the topic title, 2 black women gave their experience and confidently said that other black women experience, but their opinion has been dismissed rather than
No.
accepted. Right.
Nobody dismissed it.
Now, Pat, please, can you come back and explain that? Because I don't know where they've been dismissed.
No.
And this might be an issue, part of the greater issue that you guys are suffering. Comments like this, when I can confidently say back, no one's dismissed anyone, what anyone has said. So please.
All we've done is voice an opinion. We've each got
Please.
an opinion.
I don't even think we've done that yet. So, Pat, please get back to us. And may I add, before anyone starts to critique, we've asked many sisters to come on the show to put their points across and defend. And where are they? Where are they? They're not here. They're hiding away. So, you know, this is a problem. They're their own worst enemy. So, you know, I've got my stab vest on now. Sorry. But yeah. Sorry. So, guys, Andrea, do you believe there's a mindset problem? Maybe not personally for you, but maybe some of these ladies that come out, the mindset they leave their house with is already negative, that they're not going to get dances because of previous experience or what they've seen others go through, what they've heard, what their friends have said. Do you think the mindset is wrong when they leave home? This is your opinion, of course, not maybe what you know.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't know people's minds, but we shouldn't be blaming Black women for the issue. That's not what I thought this subject was going to be about. It's like victim blaming. We need to be looking at the wider community and how can they ensure that everybody feels included in the dance community, in an event that somebody's holding, at a party, wherever the event's taking place. So are we a community, or are we a group of individuals who happen to gather at the same place? So it's not about it's not about women. Yes, I think when you come dancing, my attitude, and I can only speak for myself, is that I'm going to have a good night. I'm the same as Letitia. I'm the same as Neverlet. I dance by myself a lot of the time because the music grabs my soul and I just want to move. If there's nobody available for me to ask to dance, if there's nobody you know, to lead or follow, then I dance by myself quite happily in my corner because the music's just asking me to dance. So it's not around blaming Black women. That's something Black women cannot change. We cannot change, like anybody, we cannot change the color of our skin. I've seen it. I see the choices people make, and again, everybody has the right to make their own choices and everybody has the right to dance with who they want to. But when white women go dancing, there is a certain privilege that they have that Black women do not have. And I'm not talking about money and stuff like that. I do apologize for Georgia. She keeps popping in and out. I think her connection might be a little bit bad. I'm so sorry. So some women have this privilege of feeling safe and secure in the environment, in the dance community. Black women don't have that privilege of always feeling safe and secure in the dance community because, as we all know, that people have unconscious bias. They don't have cultural awareness. And so they start almost on a back foot because it's out there. We can't hide the fact that there is a lot of people carry an unconscious bias with them for whatever reason. When I started, it was very difficult for Black women to get dances. The men would always gravitate to the white women. It would then be men didn't want to dance. The darker you were, the men didn't want to dance with you. That again was another issue that was around. I would hope and I would wish that this wasn't a conversation that we have to have in 2026 and that everybody is happy to dance with anybody who asks them. But it's something that I think about, before I go and ask somebody to dance, would they have an issue, all right, with my age, blah, blah. But some people won't dance with black women because they don't, they have that unconscious bias not to do it. And that's how would we change that? Like Dixon says, it's something that's taught in lessons. It's about making people talking to people and people trying to break down those barriers, and brave people having these discussions and saying there is an issue. It's an issue that we've noticed. I've pointed it out to several people at events about who's dancing with who on the dance floor and who's sitting down. And they were quite surprised, and it was obvious. So how do we change it? I don't know.
Letitia.
On the back of what Andrea said, I can actually refer back to a time when I was actually at a Kizomba dance. And as we know, sisters come in all different shades of brown. But I was dancing around a lot of darker shade sisters. And I was the lightest one there. I was the only one that got asked to dance. We were all dancing together, enjoying ourselves, but I was the only one that was picked to dance, the lightest one. So my question is, so why would that be? I wasn't dance assistant at the time, but why would this be?
Okay, I'm going to move on from that question, but first we've got some comments. A big part of the show is our listeners and viewers and what they have to say. So Clarissa says, when I struggle to get a dance, I lead. Okay, so that's an option. It's something Andrea does. I think Letitia does that as well. Often due to poor ratio, then she leads for a song, and then it helps her maybe get attention from a follower. So that's an option. Thank you, Clarissa. Dorothy says, I agree. It's not always a colour issue, which was my first question, just to open it up before I got interrupted. But it's there's age, there's an issue. Sometimes it could be a Latin thing. It could, So this was the idea when I started. It's not just, although the main subject is what it is. It's a matter of preference regarding the persona of the lady in question. Posture should say, I want to dance. We get teachers saying women ought not to ask. Me, I ask those I know even sometimes after a few vodkas. Yeah. So, that's another thing. Do we tell people to go and ask? I'm not so sure. I'm quite traditional. I like women to wait, but that's just me, my opinion. Faye, which women are referring to regarding attitude when coming to dance? Black women or all women? At this point in time, Faye, we was asking about the sisters. Thank you very much. A big up there for Super Dixon teaching etiquette. Also, we've got Matthew Coffin. Good evening. Happy birthday, Matthew, by the way.
Oh, happy birthday, Matthew, for yesterday.
I will be honest, early on, I would avoid asking black women to dance if I was in a new venue. It was my own insecurity thinking I was not good enough. This dance is part of their culture.
True.
And just to add, I would also avoid all the good female dancers and any teachers.
True.
I'm not just saying black women for that.
True.
Yeah, but it's leading to my next question, what Matthew is saying. Hi, Lana, she's saying, get up and dance. Okay. Faye, here I am. I don't know what she's referring to. Maybe, hello, I'm here. Serena, we've heard and seen everything you said. Thank you very much for your input. And we are not, of course, dismissing anything you guys are saying. And we know maybe you've experienced quite a lot of that. You are welcome to come on the show anytime. As I said, we asked a number of sisters, and only Novlet and Letitia are here. So please, you have to look at yourselves and say, well, you get opportunities. We give people opportunities in the community. We are, for the community, and you have to say, where are you? So, you know, you can shout from behind the bush, but you don't wash with us. Okay, so Makash is coming up with a comment. I'm just going to come to that.
Shout out for Makash. Angola in the building.
Sharing. So, yeah, no problem, mate. I think Sharky, no one can deny that black women are the bottom of the, I think he's meant to say bottom of the pile in Kizomba. It's definitely improving in some places. Chocolate, you know, and thing. So anyway, going back to the point, and this is before Andrea or anyone gets a bit concerned. Novlet, I'll come to you. Do you believe you give a lovely vibe? I'm here, you know, smiling, approachable. I know it's just kind of going along a stereotypical path, maybe, but are you as approachable as the next woman, as Georgia, as Emma? Well, I know you personally. I think you're great fun. You're looking, you're dancing, you're happy. But is in the wider scheme of things, you know, you see some people like this sitting down like that. They're not going to get a dance. They're not going to get a dance set like that. So, are our sisters 100% approachable? We know you are. We know Letitia is. But is there maybe a little bit of a problem with some of our sisters, which then spreads and makes it difficult?
I would say very, very few. You know, I know of 2 women that definitely, you know, I personally wouldn't even go up to them and talk to them.
Yeah.
But that's just me, what I see.
Yeah.
But most of the time, the women are dancing.
Okay.
I feel that they are approachable.
Okay. Good. That's something positive. Letitia, do you feel the same? Do you see our sisters out there being approachable as other races or colours?
I do. And I've seen sisters standing, dancing, enjoying themselves on heels. But there's only so much you can stand for and dance on your own without getting a dance and actually starting to feel depleted as to, you know, I'm standing here, I'm enjoying myself, I'm dancing, I'm not getting any dances. Well, I'll just sit down for a bit, my feet are killing me. And 2, I've danced by myself all night.
Yeah. Winston, would you like to come in on this? Because you as a guy, I can 100% say I have no preference. And we have a laugh with the Sonias and Peconias, who are 2 of our ex panelists. We always have a joke about, are they going to get dances and stuff? So from my side, and I know Winston's the same, and I know Dixon is the same, and also they are current regular teachers. So even if they wanted, they couldn't be. So Winston, just come in on that. Do you think a lot of our sisters are unapproachable? You know, they maybe not on purpose. Maybe they just have a sad face because they're not getting dances. Do you think they're approachable?
I think you know what it is. I think there's a bit of we can differentiate slightly. I do notice that when we're here in the UK in some of the clubs, and someone has mentioned this before, sometimes some women come and they might just want to be socializing with their friends, taking their selfies, having a drink, etc. Right? And there's occasions where you might go up and approach them and they're going to tell you no. And sometimes the no is one where you think, wow, okay, that's not going to ever get me back to ask you again anywhere else. Okay? I find, on the other hand, when I go abroad to a festival, people come there with the intention of dancing for that weekend. I then find generally people are a bit more approachable. Having said that, as a black man, I go into a venue and I don't care whether you're black, white, green, pink, green. I don't care. I will ask you to dance. Okay. Now, I've been on a festival before, and I remember I was dancing, and I noticed I was dancing with quite a lot of white women, European women. And I turned, and there was 3 sisters sitting down. And me, like an idiot, I go marching over, right? And I offer one of them a dance. She says to me, no. So then okay. You go back, you think, okay, I'm done. I just carry on dancing with who's present on the dance floor. So my message is if you want to dance, be on the dance floor. I will not go and ask somebody who's actually sitting down. Those days are done. If you're on the dance floor dancing, unless I know the person that is sitting down, if you're on the dance floor, I will approach you. I will no longer go jumping over trees and mountains and pulling people from the. No, you can stay there, right? So sometimes it is, if you make yourself approachable, people are going to come up and ask you to dance, right? And also, and it's not just a black thing, it doesn't matter who you are, but sometimes, I remember in my early days in Jemba, I asked a girl to dance. And I thought, yeah, I come from a reggae background. I thought this girl was from the reggae scene because how she looked me up and down and told me no, I was like, oh, damn, okay. Now, those are things where, for me, if I've asked someone to dance and they give me a really bad response, I'm not asking that person again the next time around. I won't do it. I will ask the people next to you, but I will not ask that individual. But generally speaking, I think on festivals, people are more open to they're there for a reason, which is dancing. And I think maybe in the club scene, sometimes people come out, yes, they want to dance, but sometimes they just want to be doing the paparazzi nonsense and social media stuff. And they're not really avid dancers. And I think that can play a part in it as well.
Maybe it's where what country they're from as well. Probably UK are notoriously, so I would say maybe a bit more. Let's not say too much.
I think I have noticed a difference on how I can approach certain people. I find, and people might not like it, I personally find approaching palette women very difficult. I'm going to put it out there, and okay, that's my opinion. And there's times when I have approached palette women to answer dance, and they'll look at me and say, oh, later on. And for me, later on ain't coming back. I'm not asking you again unless you come and ask me. Whereas when I find I ask the non-palops or a white woman, she will just dance with me.
Yeah.
More or less. Okay? So those things. So I tend to personally, unless I've known that person from before, who is say a palop, then I will approach. But invariably, I'm a little bit more cautious about approaching people who are palops. You can tell they're in their groups and they're drinking and they're with the guys sometimes. And obviously there is a cultural thing because sometimes they don't want to dance with other people because their boyfriend might be there. And in their culture, they tend to want to be just with your partner. Like I mentioned this before when we were abroad in Mangalay Club. And if you wanted to dance with somebody there and they had their partner, you'd have to ask the gentleman first, oh, do you mind if I dance with your partner? Yeah. And sometimes you get that here in the clubs, they're with their boyfriend, they don't really want to dance. You'd have to go on the part. And for me, I'm not going to go and do that. I'm not going to go to a man and say, oh, do you mind if I dance with your woman? No. I'm not going to bother doing that.
Winston, thank you for that. I'm going to quickly move to Dixon. Dixon, obviously you're a regular teacher, and you are working on your students and giving them advice and guiding them to be approachable. Just quickly, do you find that our sisters can be a bit unapproachable for whatever reason? I'm not saying it's just because the way they look. Maybe they are going through something. I don't know. Maybe it's because they haven't got dances. But do you feel that they are unapproachable sometimes? Maybe.
So I'm gonna kind of pick up for what Winston said, and I'm gonna be straight here. Growing up in Portugal, I'm gonna be straight here. Okay, growing up in Portugal, I would not ask anyone to dance. Absolute zero. I go to the club with my friends, and I go with guys and girlfriends. We go together. I'm not gonna ask. Nobody's on the side. Every man for themselves. I'm gonna be straight. Simpatica, not simpatica. Because coming from the culture, you dance with your group. Yeah, we got that on lock. And one thing I'm gonna say is that we have a stigma in our culture that I'm not gonna put myself in a situation where I'm not gonna walk to a lady a sister or non-sister, whoever. Back in the day, it was more sisters in the club than Europeans, let's say, or Portuguese ladies. I'm not going to risk my reputation going to a lady. Do you want to dance? And she says no, whatever. Oh, where are you from? I don't like your hair. Oh, I don't like your shoes. I never would put myself in that situation. But coming to the UK, I saw that obviously there was etiquette. There was, again, this community thing of the salsa community going. So I obviously adapted and changed in my brain. When we are in a dance community environment, I learned to, okay, this is everybody. Everybody asks everybody. Everybody dances with everybody. Makes sense? And that vibe is the vibe that we have when we do the gatherings, the barbecues, in our culture, where we go eat and everybody dances with everybody, because we are all in the same group. It's a family function, and some people go to from the family function. Some people are from other families. We are all together, so that kind of made me feel at home. Make sense?
Yeah.
Now, here in the UK, again, I also have a different mode when I go to a palop party. In the Kizomba environment, the festivals, dance schools, that I always make sure that I look after the ladies, the sisters. I always make sure I look after the sisters because I can see they've been waiting for a while now. So I do go and look after them, make sure they have their dances, and I give them advice. Don't sit down. Get up. Make yourself approachable. Make yourselves happy. Because I know that they've been waiting for a long time also. So I'm trying to make sure, give them a boost. But I know for a fact, the fact that I'm going to dance with them, and I know that they dance better. Some of them do. Some of them are a bit, okay, they're still struggling. But because I'm dancing with them and I know that the other guys look, and I'm showing off a little bit more as well, I know for a fact once I'm done with like dancing with the group, a lot of guys can see they can dance and they go straight away invite. So this is like a bit it should not be a teacher having to go there. They should be doing this themselves. But I do that anyway. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna lie. If I'm in a palop event, if I go to O'Neill's, if I go to Vicio, if I go to certain places, my gangster mode goes back. Because it's like I don't know who's who. I don't know who's palop, who's not palop. So it's like I start to become a bit edgy on it because it's like I'm never gonna go to this lady and then she's gonna do this. No, I have stories to tell. I have stories to tell about how many brothers I've seen being rejected in Portugal and here in the UK. I have plenty of stories of that, and I've said this before in the show. A rejection from a black woman is harder than any white woman. I said what I said, so that's why I'm saying.
Yeah, guys. I mean, we could go all night. We could go all night, and I think we will. I'm going to bring in Georgia and Emma here because I want to view from our other sisters, Georgia and Emma. When you're out, let's start with Emma, and you see Novlet and Konya and Sonia and all, the regulars. Do you, I must say, Kathleen and Dolores, they're always joyful and it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
So I think this is one of the important things, making yourself approachable, looking like you're having fun. Emma and George, I'll start with Emma. Do you see any kind of moodiness on the side? Do they hide away in the back? Do you see them hide away?
Tell you, I'm sat here, my hands are sweating. I'm taking notes with explanation marks.
Yeah.
Listen, every woman, sister, non-sister, brother, whatever, we all come out hopefully with a good attitude. We want to have a good time. I don't think any women, and hopefully not the men either, come out with a bad attitude. If they do, it's their own fault they don't get a dance.
100%.
Okay? Always come out with a good attitude. You're going out to enjoy yourself. You're living your life. You're dressing up. You've had your nails done. Your hair looks good. You've got your good shoes on. It's not about how we're coming out. There's not a lot of women that sit there really and truly, if you look around like this, face like thunder. And we do. We stand there and dance. But like we said earlier, there's only a certain amount. Sometimes we can stand there for 5 hours in our heels and then you think, do you know what? I'm done. And it's not us. We're dancing, hair done, shoes on. See what that says?
Yeah.
Men. It's not us. Sorry, I don't want to be the man hating thing, but we're not giving off bad vibes really. And if you guys think we're giving off bad vibes, then don't dance with us. Go away. Go and ask someone else. Sorry. And sisters on, I see the ladies. All the ladies look happy. But if they're having a bad night, by the end of the night, they've got a face like thunder, and you will go home upset. And it is demoralising because you've had your hair done, you've paid £27.50 for your nails and your matching toes. What's the point? But then you have to pick yourself up every time and do it again on a Tuesday and do it on a Friday. But like Winston said, I've got that as well. You shouldn't leave me too long to not be able to talk. I've got my notes. Festivals, yeah? Different. Different. The guys will dance with you. You'll have a lovely dance. Then they have to go and spread themselves around the rest of the women. At the weekly ones we go to, it's more of a social. You can lock in for like 5 tracks and then they'll come back later on and have more. So it's different. It's a different vibe completely.
It is, yeah.
But yeah, you better stop me now because I'm not even at the bottom of my list.
Yeah, I have no idea what the hell the question was after all that situation there.
Literally, I'm saying around you.
Mm-hmm.
Put your stab vest on, of course. Do you see in our local events? Do you see our sisters kind of, giving it this, or in the background looking guys up and down? I've been waiting for 5 hours, but I'm still not going to dance with you. Do you see that?
I've seen looking up and down, but these are the women that have come in or like once a month. They're the ones that are doing the socials and whatever. They look at men up and down and say no. The ladies that we know, all of the ladies here that we see weekly, they're up and dancing, especially if a tune comes on that they like. They're all up dancing. There's only a certain amount of men in there, and there's a hell of a lot of women. So not everybody is going to get a lot of dances all night. And I don't know if people sit down all night. I don't know. I'm going to be honest. I have no idea if people go and don't dance all night. Maybe they get a couple dances, but there are a lot more men than there are women, and the men have their preferences. True story. So you go with your flavor. You go with whoever you gel with on the dance floor, who you've danced with before, who's familiar, you're friends with. You dance with your friends always. Yeah, that's
Georgia,
true.
I think you're right, but I always remember this episode. It was my best learning curve. I think it was the early days. I was learning in gem. I was in chocolate 2012, 13 or something. I can't remember. And I was learning, I know. And I went up to this particular lady. And I said to her, black lady, I said, "Oh, would you like to dance?" I told her I was a beginner. She went, "Nah." I looked at her and I said, "What? What do you mean no?"
No. I have to say, right? It was, I don't know, about a year ago now, maybe not that long. I was in chocolate and someone said, "Do me a favor, would you dance with my friends? They're both beginners." I was like, all right. I mean, we've all been there. Okay. So I can't remember what he did, but beginners they're nervous. They don't know what they're doing. We are expecting to move one way. They're darting quite awkwardly, sharply in a different way. They're pulling you. I'm on 4.5, 5-inch heels dancing Kizomba. I don't expect to be pulled left, right, and center. You dance above your body. So he did my back in, one of them. He did my back in, and I had problems for 4.5 months. So I am wary to dance with beginners, but if someone asks me to dance and I've seen them dance, they can dance, I will dance with them. I will not dance.
Georgia, I think on this case, what I'm saying here, that could have been a reason, but I don't know if it was.
Yeah. It was
but my mate was also a black guy. He went and asked her straight after. She looked her up and down, and guess what she said? No. So I'm like, nah, this is something wrong here. And for years, I've seen her, and I say hello to her every time, kiss on the cheek. I'll never ask her again. But now she sees I'm a little bit better. She's smiling and like she can see, and she's like, yeah, that's nice, man. But
okay, she's missed the boat. She's you know.
So do these things have an effect later on? where now, you know,
Winston said he's asked someone. She said no in a horrible way. He's not asking her again. I get that.
Ever.
Someone
so
I've
I
asked
think
the guy to dance. Same guy twice. First time he said no. He was dancing constantly, so I wasn't too upset about it. I wanted to dance with him, wasn't really upset about it because I could see he was dancing all night. The second time I asked him to dance, he said not right now, and I thought, fair, I'm never going to ask you again. He came back and asked me to dance. So there are people that say no, and it's no. You can say no in a nice way, but saying no in a horrible way, we're not going to ask you to dance again, male or female.
And I think that does go across the board. We need
Doesn't
to go to
matter.
the comment. Hello, Mama Dixon. Nice for you to join us. I think we have so many.
Hello,
comments.
Mama.
I'm going to ask Andrea to kindly put them up as we go across. Dorothy said, let's call a spade a spade. If you act like I'm high and mighty, you, the leader, are not good enough to dance with me. Beg me, earn me. Dorothy, I'm not sure about that. Other guys will see it and ignore you because it's not a job of the interview. You know, yeah, I don't want to say too much. It's a bit difficult, but yes.
Can't hear you, Gary.
You're muted.
Can't hear you, mate. Can you hear us, Gary?
Anyway, let's go to a break. Let's go to a break. We're pretty much on the line to go to a break. So we're just going to put the little tiny break, go get drink, go pee for a quick second, and we'll be back shortly after this. Gary, you'll sort yourself out and come back when you can. Let's go.
Before we go to a break, I have an announcement to make. When I was asked to be part of the live show dedicated to discussing the real and current issues in the Kizomba scene, I was genuinely excited. I agreed to help fund the show on our first platform, and then again when we moved studios, because I believed in the vision. However, recently there has been a dramatic shift in the production and dynamics of the show that completely contradicts my core values. Rather than being treated as a creative partner, the producer has refused to engage in open conversation with me, blanking me at events. Instead, I've been relegated to an administrative role, with heavy tasks handed down to me without consultation or discussion, while my creative input is routinely vetoed and disregarded. I am no longer able to make the meaningful contribution I set out to make, and I refuse to continue supporting an environment that has become toxic, micromanaged, and rooted in misogyny. I would like to thank my co-host Super Dixon and members of the panel who have supported me. This will be my final broadcast. The pages and anything linked to my name will be closed tonight.
And we wish Andrea the best for future endeavors. So we're going to take a song break. Andrea, continue with that, please. Okay. Did we say we was going to take a song break? No?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Carry on from what Andrea said. What we're trying to say, guys, is approaching a black woman to dance. We've got loads of people in the chat, and Andrea, has gone off the screen, and we will continue with the answers and questions. Honest answer, please, gents. If guys see two new faces, all other factors equal, but one lady is white and the other is black, who do you ask first and why? Winston.
I haven't got a preference. I don't really care. Whoever's next to me, whoever I look at and they're dancing nicely, that's who I'm going to ask. Okay? I've been actually on a festival, and I asked, there was two friends standing up, and I asked the white lady to dance first, right? And we just danced. And I went and asked her black friend straight after, and she said to me, no. Her white friend looked at her to say, why? And I just said, okay, it's cool. And immediately I turned and someone else taught me to dance. Right? So I don't have a preference. It doesn't matter to me. I want to go out and just have a nice dance. Yeah. And that's my main objective. I love Semba and I love dancing more on a faster tempo rather than the, you know, the ghetto zouk and the compa. It's not really my forte. It's not really what I love. I'm more of a proper Kizomba Semba dancer. And that's, if I have music like that, that is upbeat, then I have to be on the dance floor. I don't care what color you are. As long as you can dance properly, then that's good enough for me.
Okay. Novlet, do you, if you're standing next to someone of another color, do you believe you will be chosen, or do you get the feeling that the guy will go to that woman and not yourself? Do you get those feelings when you're standing on the side?
I have to say, and I'm being very, very honest. Sorry, I've had a bad cold. Numerous times the guys have gone to the white girl. I saw it not last Friday, but the Friday before. One lady was sitting next to me, and I think 3 men came up to her, and she refused all 3 men. And I said to her, "You're getting a lot of offers." She said, "Yes, but they know my ex-boyfriend." She didn't
Ooh,
want to dance with them. She refused the 3 guys, and they never asked me.
they never ask you.
No.
Wow. So there is clearly a problem. We're trying to get to the bottom of it. Letitia, you know, Marion's mentioned it. I mean, Winston's no preference. Me for sure. It's a kind of a difficult question if you've got one of each, and you know, I might just select this lady because she's better at Semba. I might select that lady because she's more suited to the slow tracks. It's not necessarily about the color. Do you believe if you're next to someone that's European that they would select her, not you?
It has happened before, but I also have been in an event where a darker skinned lady came to me and said, "Watch what happens when I stand next to you." She stood next to me. I was the one selected to dance.
Interesting. You see? Okay, but Dixon, do you? I mean, Marion's asked the question, so I feel like us as guys should answer. What would you do? Does it depend on who's better at what, or you know? I know you're a teacher, so you would never be prejudiced, but she's saying that straight answer. She wants a straight answer. Who would you select, and why?
Who, me?
Yes. Not
In my
she's
capacity,
asked them-
in my capacity as instructor,
Yeah.
I have to say this, and I have to say this so many times in my own podcasts on Afro Latin Radio. Everywhere I go, I explain. I actually don't invite ladies to dance; they invite me. So I have like an invisible queue, let's say, invisible queue. But I'm not gonna lie. I mean, if Starashini is playing, it still depends on how it will go. I'm just saying. But I don't judge the color of skin of who I'm going to dance with. You know what I mean? Because again, if the Tarashin is already playing and the DJ switched music, I dance with who I'm dancing with. But I don't ask nobody to dance. When people see me asking people to dance, they already pre-ordered their invitation, let's say. So I go in the line of the queue, but I also do often do myself. I go and find I will go when I'm in an event. I see a group of ladies waiting for a while. I will go and find the sisters, and I'll make sure that I give them my time because I know they've been waiting for a while, and I try to give them a bit of encouragement so that they get more dances. Make sense?
Yeah.
Because it is hard. It is hard to watch them on the sidelines for too long. My empathy creeps with that, and again, I also not saying that they're not approachable. They are, but sometimes it's like, again, I think it's important to give them reasons to not give up and let's keep going. Another thing that I wanted to say earlier, but I'm going to take an opportunity to say it now, is that there's also a thing that we might have to dissect a bit later. But there's a thing where I've been teaching this also to older dancers, right? Where I find them, because of the old values, they struggle to invite men to dance because they are from, like you, Gario, ancient, and they don't want to, they feel that the men should invite them, right? So I'm trying to set the tone by changing this mindset, because this 21st century, equal rights. So ladies, there's not many men available. The men are actually in demand. So go invite them to attend some classes, do a class. I don't want to do classes. How are people going to know you? You know what I mean? But
That's a
I
good
must
point.
say,
Good point. Yeah.
but I must say that I have noticed, and I started to, obviously, because I do questions, and I started asking the sisters, especially the older ones. I started to ask, do you still attach to the values? And I realized that the truth is that the sisters, and especially not just the old ones, but most black women, they hold on to that old school value more than the European counterparts, or the white counterparts, let's say. And that's something that I might be an issue, let me say, an issue, or a deterrent that kind of stops them from going and trying to invite, because they are still holding. And the truth is that black people, we African people, Caribbean people, we are holding more to the values that were passed on, like religion, for example, than the European counterparts, where they moved on from that page. We're still there. And I think that's something that we need to look into, because it is a factor.
Okay, I still need to go to the chat because we got loads of messages, and incidentally, the numbers have just gone up. Interestingly, I don't know why that is, but I've been a bit unfair for this far. This is Serena, Ari Kizomba. I was raised by Angolans. I never really experienced that in the Palop settings. Okay, Serena. So we are watching your messages. Don't worry, no fear. There is a couple. It's really, I'm so impressed with everyone that's writing. We're trying to get to as many as possible. Nino in Birmingham, he says, yes, I understand it is quite a delicate topic, but there is no shame or fear in saying that black women are the most disregarded in the dance scene. They often feel overlooked, especially by their own black men. They won't speak about it publicly because they don't want to appear as if they are creating a problem. They see everything and they stay quiet. And this is what we don't want. We want them to raise these issues. You know, nothing's ever solved by staying quiet. So sisters, please, please, please step up. We're willing to listen. Again, Letitia, do you feel like coloured women, black women, you know, are you know, let's say keeping quiet? They're not raising the issues. You know, some of the elder dancers in general, they say, oh, because I'm old, I don't get dances. Are the sisters, in your experience, keeping quiet and not actually coming forward?
I think a lot of the sisters are, from what I've experienced, are speaking to each other about it. And the problems that we are facing, we're speaking to each other about it rather than speaking it on places like these. But today I've seen a lot of sisters speak about the issue. So it is definitely an issue. But my main question would be, is why in the UK are we not seeing many sisters in festivals?
Okay, I think I know why. We'll touch on that later. Another message, DJ Makash. I've got refunded more often by black women on the dance floor than white women. Now I go with the energy. So, you know, we're kind of moving in that direction. I think Georgia alluded to that a little bit earlier. Georgia was saying, go with the flow, go with who wants to dance with you. And I kind of tend to agree. If they're saying no, what can you do? It does kind of push you away from, you know, going down that route. Janet Harris, unfortunately, black women still be labelled as unapproachable and have attitude. Nonsense. We asked the question. We're not saying that's the case.
No.
Winston, I mean, you might want to come in on that. We're not really saying that, are we, Winston?
I'm not saying that at all. 100% not saying that.
We're just saying, are
What
they?
we're
Is there
giving
anything we can do?
is our experiences that we've encountered on the dance floor. Okay. Now, I've had good experiences, I've had bad. A lot of the times I get a refusal, if I'm honest, it is from black women. Right? And that has been on festivals as well. Now, I'll give you an example. My very first festival in 2014, we went with a whole group from the UK, guys and girls. Okay. During that festival, we had a big debate about this very same issue. Yeah. You know, and it was predominantly why are the black guys not asking the black girls at that time? Okay. My colleague on the dance floor in the evening demonstrated to the black girls, a few of them that were there. He said, watch this. If you don't believe me of what I'm telling you, that we get refused by black women, watch me. He went across the room and he asked a black girl to dance. She said no. Next minute, a white guy came and took her, offered her to dance. She got up. He looked at the girl and said, there you go. He said, let me show you again. And he found another girl and he did the same thing. Emma, you know the guy that I'm talking about, right?
100%.
He did the same thing and exactly the same thing happened. And then we said, you see, we rest our case. So a lot of people say, oh, it's you black guys. It's not you black guys, right? Sometimes it does come down to attitude. And then what happens is we then look at it and think, well, okay, well, if I've asked you to dance and I've asked you, and you said, no, I'm not bothering because I know I'm going to dance to people here that come to dance.
Yeah.
That is what happens a lot on festivals, okay? And in the UK as well, even here, right? So it's not, I mean, we will still go out and we will still ask our sisters. Like I told you the other day, last year, I asked a girl, like I said, I was dancing, and after dancing all these white girls, I asked the black sisters that were there, and they said no. And I'd gone the walk of shame across the room. And after that, I was like, why did I bother doing that for? Right? So we're not saying all sisters are bad. I'm not saying that. But you're going to get, and the thing is, what I don't understand, black women are a minority in the scene. But yet, a lot of my refusals that I'm getting is from the minority. And I'm like, well, why is that happening? I don't understand it. And then we get labeled as we're the bad people. What? I'm like, are you serious? Now, me and you had an argument. You were with me, Gary, and we had the same argument with somebody.
This was, so just to expand on that, yeah, so me and Winston were with a couple of others. One was a lady, and we were having dinner at a festival, and this conversation come up. So Winston, yeah, go ahead. It was
So we were just giving our explanation of how what we've experienced on the dance floor. She completely objected, and she got really angry with us, right? So then another guy came and sat with us who was Palok, and we put a question to him and said, in your opinion, how do you see this thing panning out? And he said, I'll be honest with you, when I'm in Portugal, I don't ask black sisters to dance because of the same reason. I will stand up and I wait people to come to me to dance. That's what he said to us. All right. So a lot of us, people say, oh, it's the black guys ignoring the black. We are not ignoring the black women. We're not. We want to dance with everybody. But sometimes if there's an issue or there's a no and it's a coarse no, we're not going to bother. And then what happens? The guys will say to each other, don't bother, ask that one over there.
Girls do that too.
Girls do it too.
Absolutely.
Really? Okay.
And this is what happens.
Yeah.
Okay?
He's rude. So don't even bother.
We want to dance with everybody, but unfortunately, sometimes the attitude we get are from black girls. Right? There's two people in the UK right now that when I dance with them, one of them does not want to dance to Kizomba, but wants to dance only Fast December. So I'm like, okay, I love December anyway, but the fact that they said that to me made me think, well, okay. They said, oh, come and see me when December's playing. Well, I'm not going to come and find you. And if you come and find me, it's different. And she did, and we danced. But now I wouldn't actually approach that girl to ask her to dance Kizomba. I wouldn't. Okay? And there's another girl.
But she has a preference. She, like, you don't really.
No, it's rubbish because I see them dance with other people.
Oh, okay. Never
Okay,
mind.
so it's a personal thing, but what it does, it makes me think that I'm going to stand back. Okay, and there's another girl, similar thing, doesn't want to dance close. Okay, fair enough, I accept that.
Yeah.
But yet, when I turn around and I see her dance with someone else, she's like this. You
But
understand?
she might not know you as well as she knows him.
No. She knows me for
Maybe she
years.
fancies them, Winston.
It doesn't matter.
Maybe
We're not
she
coming here
fancies them.
we're not coming here on a dating site. We're coming here to dance. The dance is not a commitment to relationship, right? It's a dance. You dance, you go home. You go to your woman or your partner, or whatever you got back home. All right. I'm not looking marriage on the dance floor. I'm not looking to get engaged on the dance floor. I'm asking you to dance. Simple. So when I was doing salsa, it was traditional. You asked someone to dance, they said yes. And that was nice. We just danced. And he moved on. And then we're coming to Kizomba. I'm not complaining because I come from the reggae scene, and the reggae scene was coarse. You ask someone to dance and look you up and down.
Yeah.
And then they said no. And you're like, wow, I got dressed and I got fresh and then come out. And so Kizomba is not a touch on that. But what we see as black guys, and a lot of my brothers that come to me on festivals will say exactly the same thing I'm saying. A lot of times we get this is from black sisters.
Wow. Winston, thank you.
And I don't care. I can wear my staff vest when I go out the weekend. We get this from our own black sisters.
Winston, this is brilliant.
Over.
Brilliant. Novlet, we're going to come to you. I just got two things from the messages that I want to say. Dorothy's saying, as a black woman, I can categorically say that some of my sisters are not soft enough to approach. And that's coming from a black woman. So thank you very much, Dorothy. We've got Sharon Jones. She's also saying that unconscious bias, she agrees with that, but having a choice to dance with whoever you choose to dance with is very important, and that's true. So Novlet, do you feel like you can help the brothers by our sisters actually, helping themselves?
I find it very difficult to answer because when I come out my house, I come out to dance.
Yes.
And that's the main thing. I come out to dance. And if someone doesn't want to dance with me, if I ask someone and they say no, I do accept it. But I don't understand why I would say I'm a good dancer. And I've seen some people dress in such a way, the men are just gravitating to them because they're just different colour skin, they're showing all their body. But I know I'm good. And I can't understand why the black men don't want to dance with me.
You just said it.
Said I can dress like a 25-year-old if I wanted to, but that's not what I'm out for.
No.
I'm there to dance. And I feel that when I dance, I take in the music, I enjoy myself. And the black men should know that the music comes from the black culture. So we know how to dance. We know. So it's foolishness. But a black man don't want to come and ask us to dance. We know how to dance. We can move. I went to Jamaica and I wasn't born in Jamaica and I was dancing reggae straight away. I could feel the music. So there's something wrong. There's something wrong. And it shouldn't be about colour. It shouldn't be about colour. We're supposed to go into the dance field and say, right, I'm going to have a good time, like we did in the salsa world.
Yeah.
And the Cuban salsa.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have this division. It should stop. The men should just come in and dance with the women and end off. It would be a better scene. I mean, I've traveled a lot like Winston abroad. And the best time I ever had in my life was last year in Paris. And unfortunately, I was not able to dance because I was not well. And the atmosphere among the black men was outstanding. There were so many London women were saying, we've got to come back, we've got to come back. Because the black guys were dancing with us. So I don't understand. There was different African guys, they don't know us. There were men dance with their partners and the partner sitting down and letting 3 and 4 women dance with one man. I'm not getting it. We have to stop this nonsense and go out and enjoy ourselves.
We don't know what the issue is, but what I will say is, how about some of our white brothers asking you to dance instead of the black guys getting the stick? I mean, do you, Novelet, for example, I know there's not that many, but do you have our white brothers asking you to dance?
Oh yes, and I'll dance with them.
Yeah. That's good. It's good.
I dance with an Asian guy. I dance with anyone. There's a guy that came one week, he had special needs. I danced with him.
Brilliant.
It doesn't matter to me. You ask me for a dance, I ask you for a dance, I'm getting up, I'm moving.
And
then I noticed when I start dancing on my own, a lot of black women are joining in and we're having a good time. And there's other women doing the same because they're tired of the guys not wanting to come and ask us to dance. Or we go to them and they don't want to. One lady told me last week, I went to ask this guy for a dance and he said no. And then he got up and danced with another woman.
Yeah, it's tough.
That happens to us.
It happens to guys as well, a lot. I mean, I want to go back to Sharon's comment. She said, she's been overlooked many occasions. I almost left the scene entirely, but the love of the music kept me going. Being and looking as if you are ready to dance and be present does not guarantee you a dance. So even though people like Novelet are on the side dancing and enjoying it, doesn't guarantee dances. But there's no guarantees in dance, and there's no guarantees in life, I'm afraid, guys. There's no guarantees in life. So I will add that some black guys say hello and greet you and then ask the woman next to you or not far from you to dance. And these are the white women. Totally agree. There is only so long you can dance by yourself. That's damning. Super Dixon. So people like Winston are walking past, saying hello, giving them a kiss on the cheek, and going and dancing to people next to them. So what's going on here, Super Dixon, with some of these guys? They're just saying hello, walking past. What could be the problem in your eye?
So let's be clear. Big shout out for Novelet for taking the gun out and shooting outside. That's why we wanted you to come on the show, and we brought Letitia here. And I'm glad that you put it out there, because the thing is, everything I'm saying, and again, I started the show by giving you a cultural perspective, and I'm actually trying to give you, again, a dance community perspective. You know, there's 2 different worlds here, okay? And I think for the purpose of dance community, you know, I mean, this BS should not be happening. You know, I mean, even though we have our social rules, because one of the things is important is a lot of people talk about the Cuban culture, South Cuban salsa is like this, and I see some certain similarities with Kizomba culture. I see some similarities with Cuban, let's say, Caribbean environment. You know, but again, our event has a really strong cultural thing, which we did in the show a long time ago. The difference between club culture and Kizomba family culture. Unfortunately for us, we are in club culture. Okay, but the thing that should be driving us here, especially in London, in the UK, it should be community. You know what I mean? And I think for the community purposes, everybody should be dancing with everybody. But I see what you mentioned. I see what Letitia mentioned. I see everything. I see what you said. I see everything. Do you know what I mean? And unfortunately, you know what I mean? I'm not the Kizomba police like people think. Otherwise, my first job would to put my boot up their faces and go tell them to go dance. But this, I must say, is not just the brothers that are at fault. A lot of people point the finger at the brothers because the brothers dance better. Shocking. But that's out there.
Can we not do that? White men and women are also.
Let me finish, Georgia. Because what I'm going to say is that the let's say the British or the European dancers, they do that a lot too. And in fact, I remember the first complaint I remember to hear was from a dancer, a Cuban salsa dancer, which is British, Andrea, and she was telling me that she was the teacher on the spot, and no guy was inviting her to dance. And I seen Kizomba sisters
Maybe they
also
got scared.
go teach, and everybody's afraid. Everybody's afraid to go and dance with them, except the brothers here and there, depending on skill, depending if I'm from the culture. But this is happening, Georgia. I'm just stating facts here. I'm just stating facts here because that's what the show needs to go in the direction that needs to go. You know, it's fair points because we are here for the community. We are here to support each other. Makes sense? So this is a issue that keeps happening. You know what I mean? And I think we need to talk about how can we resolve the issue. And I think that's
it's
what we do in the
difficult.
show.
It's a very difficult question because Georgia, I
We
mean,
need
I don't
more
know.
men then. We need more men to resolve the issue because women are being overlooked. People are dancing with who they prefer to dance with, who they gel with on the dance floor. And let me tell you, there's only a handful of white women, especially where I dance on Friday. There's not very many white women.
But can I add
Predominantly
to this?
guys and women. So
I would like to add to this. I think, you know, when you look at it, I mean, people have these events and they have ratios. You've got to have 400 women, 400 guys. I keep
Yeah.
saying it and I'll say it again.
that would help immensely.
No, but I keep saying it. 400 of those guys will only dance with 100 of the 400 women. That's the issue.
How on earth do you think you can police that? You can't.
You can't. It's
can't.
impossible.
You can
Because-
educate people. You can give your point of view. You can give your experience, your life experiences, your dance experiences. That's as far as it goes. It's down to themselves. It's down to people themselves.
Exactly.
Women go to dance and men go to dance, go with the expectation to have a good night. You never take your time to prepare your clothes from the night before, what you're going to do with your hair, your shoes, blah, 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 put everything in the car. You don't take the time to do that and go, you know what? I'm going to go out and sit like this all night so no one approaches me. You don't. You go with the intention of having a good night, men and women. But the ratio is not there. The ratio is not there. So what are you going to do? There's a lot of two clubs. I've noticed there's a lot of newbies on the scene, like a lot of newbies all of a sudden. However, they're going to take time to catch up, innit? They're going to take time to catch up. So what are we going to do? You tell me. How are you going to police that? Telling people who to dance with. You can't tell me who to dance with. Good luck with telling anybody else.
Letitia, please come in on that.
I think that it all needs to be taught from the dance schools in general. Educate as you teach, you know, educate about the culture, educate about, you know, asking people to dance, playing the switch game. I've seen that happen.
Yeah.
You know, you
Where
don't
have you
know
seen
how
that,
someone's.
Letitia?
They do
Where
that.
have you seen that? Can you please explain the audience? Since you're talking about you've seen it, can you please explain where have you seen it so that our viewers know where they've seen it?
Yeah, at Jingaboo, definitely. Yes, we have a lot of newbies there, and they're being taught from scratch on how to approach in the dance floor, how to dance with different people, because dancing with different people helps to improve your skill.
Absolutely.
Social dancing improves your skill, no matter whether you dance with a beginner, someone who's danced for 3 years, someone who's danced for 14 years, you're always going to come out learning something.
Yes, agreed.
That's
I
how
will say more. I was just pushing Letitia to say this because this is the thing. Gary, you've seen it. Winston, you are there, and you see how we operate on a Thursday. We encourage them to stay for the social.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But most importantly, we are at least for 30, 40 minutes shouting switch every 2 songs. Not 3, not 4, not 5, 2 songs. We are literally drumming into their brain. You should be only dance 2 songs. Reduce the ratio. If everybody reduces their entitlement, maybe, just maybe, the dance floor can have the rotation of a salsa night. That's another thing. But again, I believe that that is just a thing here that won't change the issue. The black women are still being overlooked. We know the reason why. We're just holding back to drop the bomb. But
I think on that, I'm very conscious of trying to make people do things. You know, we will get complaints on that. I paid £15. I want to come and dance with who I want to dance with, and it's fair play. It's hard times. Georgia said, "You ain't going to tell me who to dance with," and I think that's fair play because you know we're trying to help the community, but communities the first community is at home. You know, you got to help yourself first, and then look at others. I mean, we try our best. Switch is a good idea, and we know at Jingaboo you have an hour.
So it's a good idea at the beginning of the night, so
Switch is a
you
good
can
idea.
meet people. You can't be switching all night. If I'm locked in with someone and I
No, but
know
it's
Tarantino compa coming up, I'm
not
in
all
love
night.
with this person.
It's not all night. You have a segment.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you switch during that. But what that does, it initiates.
Yeah.
Breaks down the barriers, and then people get to know each other. So later on, you can then formalize and asking people how to dance.
Again, at the beginning of the night.
Again, my argument again is this: we've all come out to dance on that night. All of us have come out. We didn't come out here just to stand up and not dance.
Mm-hmm.
So if I am a follower, whether you're black, white, green, and you're not getting a dance, why not go and ask somebody to dance? It's a magic word. Ask. Because then you might be surprised that someone's going to say, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Don't just sit there and complain and leave and say, I never got no dances that night. Well, what did you do to get a dance?
I agree.
I was on the dance floor rocking. Okay, what else did you do? Did you ask anybody to dance? No. Well, okay, what do you expect? Go and ask people. There's no crime in that. There's no shame in that.
Mm-hmm.
And that breaks down barriers. Right? Some people say to me, you didn't ask me to dance tonight. I said, well, why didn't you ask me to dance? I was busy. You could ask me to dance. I don't say no.
Yeah.
Ask people to dance. Get your money's worth. It's eat as much buffet as you can. Get your money's worth. Ask a question. Can you dance? I want to dance with you. End of.
And guys, I just want to put it out there. Is it actually a black guy's responsibility to make sure our black lady sisters are getting a dance? Because it kind of feels sometimes it's our responsibility.
It's not a color thing, right?
It's everybody's responsibility to look after each other.
We don't have to have a color issue here. We just come out and dance. Well, and it's not even an age issue neither.
Yeah, right? I think that everybody should be educated to ask all different races to dance. But that's what I'm saying. It's like, why is we have to look at why is there an issue in general with black women being asked to dance, or black women asking men to dance and being refused?
Okay, I will throw this bomb now before Winston comes in. I think it should be their own responsibility to do as much as they can before throwing stones out there saying blah, blah, blah. So we know Novelette dances on her own. Kathleen and Dolores, they dance on their own. And, you know, sometimes they get dances. So, you know, you got to, you know, our white European friends, they make themselves seen. You got to be seen. You can't sit at the back and hope Super Dixon's going to jump over 3 rows of chairs to come and get you. It's not going to happen. So make yourself seen. Cause, you know, and we're going into uncharted waters here. Is this why some ladies dress provocatively to get that attention? I don't want to go there, but is this, you know, not no in particular color, but do people dress differently to attract, you know, guys to come and get them to dance? What tactics are people using?
Look, at the end of the day, you can't stop that. You can't police that. People will just how they're going to dress. Okay. Yeah. Now, we've been away and we've seen some women dressed virtually naked. Nobody wanted to dance with her.
There you go. There you go.
Nobody. I wouldn't want to be seen with that woman dancing and someone takes a video of me and it gets put on Facebook. And, look at Fox. Look what he was doing.
Foxy.
You understand? She was half naked, not half. She was virtually naked. So we looked at. There's not a chance. In fact, you would turn away and walk. There's no way, right? So the nudity and all that to me, it don't interest me because I don't come out here. I come out here to dance. I don't come out here to pick up a woman. I come out here to dance and socialize. Okay, so I don't care if you're black, you're white. one of the best dances I had this year on a festival that we were at, which was Back to Basics, was a mature woman. She asked me to dance. I said, okay, no. I was shocked to my core. This woman could dance. She was not young. She was probably older than me.
Winston, was
But
she an Irish lady?
no, it wasn't
Oh,
Irish. I know who
okay.
you're talking about. But
Okay, she's
this
good.
woman could dance, and she was a mature woman. The dance was beautiful, right? So we need to put the age thing aside. We need to put the color thing aside. We all come here to enjoy ourselves and dance. If
Yeah.
you're not getting to dance, ask yourself why. What can I do to get a dance? I could go and ask somebody. I could maybe upskill my level, because that could be an issue. Maybe people are not dancing with you because they
Can I
think that your
bank
level.
on that, Winston? I have to just say, men too. Not
Men as
just
well. It's the same for
men.
for
Go and learn
everybody.
Kizomba a little bit. They do the same thing over and over and over for years. Also, sometimes it's just not good. So
Yeah,
maybe that's why women
upskill.
say no. So men should
Yeah.
upskill too.
I'm not saying it's just a woman thing. But we're talking about this in the context of black
Yeah.
women not getting dances. So what I'm saying here is, yes, maybe you need to upskill as one option that you could do. Yeah, maybe you can go and ask somebody, and make sure you're not, like you were saying before, at the back of the mountain, right? Be presentable on the floor, put a nice presence on, be approachable, flow. Go to the classes in the daytime or in the evening time.
Meet
Get
some
to know
people.
each other, get to know people.
Mhm.
You will get dancers on the dance floor, 100%.
That's
So
familiarity.
for me,
Yeah.
that's why I said when we first started, for me personally, I think it's the gender imbalance which is causing this problem.
Massive.
And maybe then people looking at that and thinking it's black men being ignored. I personally don't feel that, but I'm not saying other people's opinions are not justified or not correct. From what I see, okay, I feel that the imbalance is a massive problem that leads on to other things.
Mhm.
But we can do things to address that. Don't sit there and not ask people to dance a whole night and go home and complain, please. At least ask 2 or 3 people. And then the next time you come there, you know those 2 or 3 people, you're dancing straight away.
Thank you, Winston. Perfect. So another message from Charles. Thank you, Charles. Says she's going to put a 2 pennies worth in here. Great show. Yes, I absolutely agree. Our black sisters probably do get overlooked. I think from what I've seen at festivals, this is slowly changing, and I feel that's because they come to understand African culture. You know, yeah, it's partly true. She says, I know this show is about black sisters, but throwing in a curveball, I find myself asking, as an Asian lady, where do I sit between the two? It's a lot about unconscious bias, but 100% related to age. At home, I have the advantage of familiar faces, but abroad can be a different story. Now, yeah, we've been abroad with Charles. You know, she's when she's at home, she knows a lot of the guys. She's a friendly local face. When you go abroad, um, it's a bit more difficult. But then again, people are more. I think for guys it's easier, but for women, you could be in a lonely place. Actually, you know, you can. You know, I've spoken to Sonia and Pocona. They say sometimes, oh my God, it's a very lonely place. So it's swings and roundabouts. But yeah, thank you, Charles, for that. I think what Winston was saying, what George was saying, go to classes, you meet people, you know. You will definitely get dances if you meet someone in your class. Claudia says, Letitia, let's also consider that it may be an energy issue rather than just colour issue. And touching upon Andrew's point about cognitive biases, sure that can have a wide-ranging impact. However, we are disregarding that this bias can often run reflexively. Very interesting comment. Thank you, Claudia. So, Novlet, Letitia, should you be asking for dances? Is this one way round? And I know this goes as a general thing, but you know, as black women, part black women, do you believe you need to go out there and ask, or are you saying no, we're traditional, you should come and get us? Novlet.
When I first started Kizomba, I was told that the men must come to me.
Yes.
That's what I was told. And also I was told how to hold a man. So I was just following, but it's not working. So I go and ask the guys. I just go and ask the guys.
That's fair enough. And if they say no, Novlet, how do you feel? Can you kind of calculate why they're saying no? Are they tired?
Well, sometimes you can tell they're definitely tired, but I don't put it against them if they say no. But I get angry if I see them go and dance with a woman straight after.
Straight after that, yeah.
Can I just say
I've
something
asked
here as well? I think it's important that sometimes we actually put this across, because one of the things that, again, everywhere I travel, again, I'm always obviously researching, I'm always questioning, and I always kind of hear grievances from everybody. And one of the things I was a bit surprised is that some, let's say, European ones asked me, why is the guys not inviting me to dance? And she was very well dressed, very, very attractive girl, very pretty. And I was like, don't you get all the dances? I see you dance all the time. And she said to me, I have to ask. I have to ask. Otherwise, I don't get any dances. So she, imagine, I see her dance a lot and she's complaining.
And she's moaning.
But
yes.
no. She was complaining still, because she said she was complaining that why do I have to ask everyone to get a dance? So she's getting the dances, but she has been asking. So this is one of the things sometimes I try to give this feedback back to the sisters so that they understand, well, more the ratio is so little, and that's why this is like, it feels like this is a fight, you know. But in response to Georgia, I said this before. I don't know if you were in the show or not, if you were in the panel at this time or not, but I said this before. A lot of events, a lot of festivals, even, they should not even have a light of a day if they don't have the right ratio. But what's happening is they're selling tickets randomly, and the festival is actually a salsa festival or a bachata festival. It's Latin orientated, and they just put a kizomba room there and fight for your life. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not gonna lie to you, I have to go to extra lengths of marketing and strategies to get my classes populated, to educate the amount of people, so that we later have actually a better vibe in the room when we are in the social. You know what I mean? But I know for a fact there's a lot of places when I attend, I think, I'm not saying, I'm trying to create solutions here, okay? That's what I'm trying to say. And sometimes when I attend an event and I see that, like, the discrepancy where nobody cares and then I see even more sisters being ignored. But I guess the problem is exactly that. They sell tickets like that. So everybody knows that the main customer in dancing is women. And Kizomba is the one that bites the dust the most. And also, one thing that Georgia said that a lot of people probably didn't even catch on it, but one of the things she's been saying throughout the whole show, and it's frustrating, especially for good dancers like everybody in this panel, right? And a lot of good dancers out there. The truth is that the level in Kizomba has drastically dropped in this last decade. I witnessed it and I saw it, and I'm still appalled. When I came to London, I thought the level was higher. My shock, it is not. It's a little bit higher because of the variety, but the truth is that the level in London is actually low. It's low. In the whole cities and the villages around the United Kingdom, it's very low. And the reason is nobody is caring, especially a lot of men that dance other genres. They're not even bothering trying to learn Kizomba because they think they just can wing it.
Yeah, they do.
You know what I mean? And obviously, you know, I'm not gonna lie. If they were in Portugal dealing with the Palop women, they would shut them down straight for not being able to dance. But because it's a community, I like the fact that everybody's uplifting everybody. But I have no doubt that Georgia, for example, if you see that guy that you know is gonna break your back, you run. You run.
I am.
You know what I mean? The thing is, how about the sisters? Are they allowed to run too?
Well,
and sometimes they're the ones upholding. Wait, and sometimes is the sisters actually upholding the game because they want to dance and they dance with the beginners.
Again, choose whoever you want to dance with. You want to say yes to a beginner, do it.
And that's fair enough. Guys, more messages. Sorry, I'll have to cut you there. Serena, as a black woman, I like to be asked. Those that pluck up the courage often find I do say yes. And by the end of the dance, they're normally smiling. but I won't sit there grinning like Gladys. Serena's really driving a hard bargain, this woman, I tell you, God. Jackie Poyser, hi Jackie. What I really hate is when they all come, greet you with a kiss on the cheek, and don't bother to ask you to dance all night. And when they leave, they do the same thing. Now, I suppose we've all done that, you know. But when we're saying hello, Jackie, it's probably on the way to getting a drink, or, you know, I don't think, well, possibly there are some guys that might be doing it on the way to ask another woman. But if they didn't say hi, maybe you'd say they ignored you. So swings and roundabouts. Trevor Sweetlead, hi Trevor, thanks for joining. He's replying to Marion. Great question, Marion. Doubt the answer will come. I think we did approach that, broach that subject. There are non-obvious prejudices not being mentioned. Mr. Fox got closest to some of the truths. I better start looking for protective gear. It was a little while ago. Trevor, thanks. You know, take your vest off and be a man, Trev. Like Emma, I mean, you look like you always have a smile when you're out there and you make yourself present. Do you think some of our sisters need to do a bit more of that just to get, you know, get these dances? Just go the extra mile?
I don't know what the problem is. I mean, I've got, even with tonight, I mean, I've written down that I've got imposter syndrome. I don't know what the problem is. I think the ladies, whenever I see them out, they all look really happy and like they're enjoying themselves. And I don't really, this is what I like, this whole point about this subject tonight. I don't actually see any of this happening. Maybe I'm just blinkered. I'm going out and I'm happy to see people socializing, and once the music goes on, I'm quite blinkered to everything. I can't feed off that energy, you know. Maybe it's me, maybe I'm just ignoring it, I don't know. And I don't mean to do it. If I was to, I mean, I hear a lot of white. I have the situation. I get brave. It's quite hard to go and ask people to dance.
Yeah.
So even the amount of time I've been doing it, to have the confidence to do that, I've literally walked over to a guy, asked him to dance, and he said no. I went and sat down, and then the next track come on, he walked over, and I stood up to dance with him, and he asked the girl next to me. I wanted to cry. But then I just have to just pick myself up and just carry on with it. But I don't think the ladies, what do you want the ladies can't do anything more than what they do. I'm sure they've not got resting bitch faces, or maybe if sometimes you see a lot of black ladies, like they turn up in a crowd, like they're out to have a good time, and it might be quite intimidating for guys to go over and ask them to dance. I go out as a single woman, and I sit at a table because I need to sit somewhere, but I don't know what the answer is to it. But I don't think the women should try any harder than what they're doing personally. I think they always look beautiful, they're always chat nice, and I know white guys that only dance with black women. I know a few of them, and
That's true.
I'm scared to go and ask them to dance because I know I'm going to get refused.
Yeah.
And I can't. I've got imposter syndrome. Like, I haven't come from the culture. All I know is I've got hips. I like to move them. I enjoy the music, and I feel it in my soul, and I'm having a nice time. Whether I'm black, white, headscarf, things around my waist, whatever. Live and let live. This is I can't.
Yeah, and
do
I
it.
appreciate your input. And just for the listeners and viewers, we're not dismissing anything from our sisters. Please, please, please understand that. We're just looking and trying to find a way or an explanation for this. An earlier comment from Charles Hosey. Hi, Charles. Thanks for joining. Sorry, Emma, don't agree. Some women, irrespective of colour, a small majority do come out with an attitude. And believe it or not, I have also been refused dances, but it's only once in a blue moon. So, you know, the guys, I mean, they're coming back, you know, they're hitting back the guys, you know, and it's true. We're sat here attacking the guys, but listen, we can all tell you about experiences. So, you know, Letitia wants to come in, but sisters, we're not disregarding anything, we're not dismissing anything. We're trying to find a solution. Letitia.
Yeah, so looking at solutions wise, I do ask men to dance, and there are different ways you can actually go up to them and ask them to dance. You can like give a bit of eye contact or whatever. But there are some that sit down who may be hesitant to dance, that I've noticed. And sometimes I go up to them and I say, "Oh, how's your night? You know, would you like to dance?" But I don't see that happening much on the lady side. Maybe could that be another way to approach it?
It's another way. I think, you know, we know. I mean, Novlet. I mean, just in a general thing, do you think you could do more? Because it's a very hard discussion that will take a long while to find a solution. But is there anything left for you to do that you can think, you know, I could try this? I've asked the guys to dance. I'm dancing on the side. You know, what more can I do? Do you feel like you've explored all avenues?
I think so. I don't know what's left. I really don't. I just don't know. Because if I ask someone to dance or they turn me down, I dance by myself. And then some people will come and dance with me. But I'm just fortunate that happens. That actually works for me. Or sometimes I'm talking to someone and they say to me, "Oh, let's dance." I said, "Okay." But it's not. I couldn't do that to anyone, every guy. But some it will just say, "Oh, yes." But I've had experience where I've known guys over 10 years ago and I've seen them for the first time, and we gel straight away and we dance immediately. So I don't know if it's because they know me.
Yeah, I mean, it does help if you know someone. And guys, you know, people that are listening and watching, please don't. No one's been dismissed here. The sisters have not been dismissed. Of course, you know, we have white women turning guys down, and that's a fact. So it's nothing. We're just trying to find a solution. We're looking at both sides because you only get answers if you look at both sides. You're not going to get an answer looking at one side. So just to put that out there. Winston, is there anything the ladies can do? Anything more?
Just come out and enjoy yourself. I don't think they, you know, look, if we all come out with a positive attitude, right, and we just come out to dance and enjoy the dance itself, that's all we need to all do, whether you're a lead or whether you're a follower. We come out and we dance. You know, don't come out with a preconceived idea that, oh, don't dance with me too close, you know, and then when we turn around, you're dancing with the next guy like this, wrapped up, but you're telling me not. So that makes me think, actually, you don't dance with me, so I won't ask anymore. And that's one particular person that I know in the scene. And I said before, we're coming out to Kizomba, and one girl said to me, "Oh, I don't really want to dance to the Kizomba tracks." And I'm like, "What? You're in a Kizomba event? Oh, come and find me for Semba." I'm like, so I wouldn't approach that person because it's like, well, just that preconceived idea is nonsense to me. I want to dance with people that want to dance with me. So I'm going to ask people whether you're black, you're Asian, you're white. I don't really give a monkeys. I want to dance. Yeah. Now we also have our favorites, don't we? So you come out, there's someone that you know, there's someone that you flow with, and you gel well with. You're going to dance with those people more because that's who you really enjoy dancing with, and also the type of music. And again, it also depends on the setting where we are. For example, if we go to a festival abroad, why do I want to dance with UK dancers? Because I will dance with the UK dancers when I'm going to Chocolate, when I'm going to Gem, when I'm going to Driller, when I'm going wherever I'm going in the UK. But when I'm abroad, I have friends and new people, new experiences that you're going to dance with. So we will levitate to people from different cultures from there, rather than the people that we know already in the UK. Do you understand? Now, some people say that as a slight. It's not a slight, but we've all come out to enjoy ourselves, and we're going to dance with our friends from the UK in the UK. But when I'm abroad, I would look to dance with people that I don't normally dance with.
Test your skills, develop your
skill, you know, make new acquaintances. That's what we're going to do. Yes, I will dance with a few UK people, but no, I didn't come here to dance with UK people. I come out to have my experiences, and I'm gonna dance with the whole festival. I'm not gonna corner myself. Okay. And in the UK, we dance with everybody. It's not a problem because that's where we are. But when we go abroad, why would you want to dance with the same people you dance with every bloody weekend?
Exactly.
Super
And that's
Dixon.
not just for men, that's for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you're going to develop as a dancer yourself. Yes. Yeah. And also, the other thing is go to classes. And I keep saying it, whether you're a lead, whether you're a follower, if you want to ensure you're going to get dances, you upskill yourself. Because once you're skilled, people are going to come and find you. When your level is high, whether you're lead or your follower, people will find you on the dance floor, right? When I was a beginner, some of the people used to refuse me. Right? Now, those same people that refuse me, they would love to come and dance with me now,
But they
because
can't.
I've skilled myself. Okay, so for me, get your dance to a good level. You're not going to get refused. I'm not saying everybody come out there and dress naked. You don't need to do that. Just comfortable, just respectfully, and come out with a positive mindset, and we'll enjoy ourselves. End of.
Super Dixon.
Can I?
Yes, please.
So, well, Winston, one thing I must say to you is that as you are an upcoming dance teacher, I can tell you now that your career depends of you dancing with the UK, whether you want it or not, abroad or not abroad. I'm just saying, brother.
We would discuss that. We would discuss that off air.
I'm just saying, because I can tell you that I'm going to give you an example. I actually went to Poland last year. I was there for a wedding, therefore I'm not working. You know what I mean? I turned up, I paid like a regular dude. I didn't even say who I was. I was there. Bruh, it was a few randomers, not many, but they saw me. As soon as they saw me, I was like, hey. In my mind, I was like, yeah, I don't want to dance with you, type of thing. No, of course not. I'm telling you, as a professional, when you become a professional at this, and more people know Winston Fox, you will lose that right, and we will talk about it in the future. I can guarantee you, these people saw me from the UK. I danced with them, and I let it be. It is what it is. You know what I mean? But I can assure you, I was there just to enjoy myself.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But again, one thing that you said, and I was going to actually touch base on that. For example, I know that Emma, till today, she still goes and does the class to get to know the beginners and whatnot. This is something else that I don't see a lot of sisters in workshops. I'm going to say there right now, I don't see them in workshops. And I teach in London, I teach in a lot of places, and I don't see them nowhere in workshops. But they come to the social. And I've said this before. No matter the color that you are, you come only for the social. And I'm going to say further, if when you go to a festival, you just buy a party ticket, I can tell you that my priority is for the people who bought the full pass. So my priority is to dance with the people who bought the full pass. I said this before, and I say it again. No matter what color you are, my focus is that. Alas, I still go out of my way when I see sisters waiting for too long. You know what I mean? And I'm going to make sure that they get dances. I still go out of my way and say, go and do a super Dixon thing, Superman thing, and I go and do it. But the thing is, the ladies are still being overlooked. The sisters are still being overlooked. That's a fact. And I've been waiting for you guys to bring the racial issue there is in this country, and that still happens for that specific reason. But we haven't touched base on that, Gario, but let's touch base on that.
We'll be going on to that. We've got our comments. We've got to look after our people that are listening and watching.
Don't forget to go to Letitia, because she said wanted to pick up something on his.
Yep. I have. This is just a moment. Charles saying, I have to agree with Winston with some of the comments he has just made, but in the balance, refusals also come from white women. And I think we touched on that. Thank you, Charles. It's not just the sisters. So let's make that very, very clear.
But the sisters that people are talking about rejection can be more Palops, not the community sisters. I think there's something here that you've been talking throughout the whole show. I didn't say nothing, but you need to disparate that there's two different type of customers. two type of sisters here, and I believe very vehemently that our Caribbean sisters, for example, from the dance community, they get the toll and they get put in the same boat. What's her name? Forgive me. Novelle?
Nevertheless,
Lovely.
Novelette said this in the beginning of the show. I was going to pick it up on it, but I said I'm going to tackle later on the show. She also said this, and the truth is, I've noticed this also happens, that the ladies from the community, from the dance community, I'm not talking about Palop community, they often bite the bullet because the Palop ladies don't care. And that's a fact. That's a fact. They bite the bullet because of the Palop sisters, but again, they are in their own cultural setting. You know what I mean? And they are allowed to do what they want to do. But the truth is that in certain places that you go dancing, if they're there, the brothers will be afraid of all the sisters. That's a fact. And not just the brothers, all the male dancers, especially the beginners. That's a point, but it's not their fault. I'm just pointing it out, okay? Let's go.
Shay Slaka, hi Shay, thanks for joining us. Why don't event organizers employ more taxi dancers? Shay, thanks for that comment. I'm not sure that is gonna work. I mean, we do have some good guys out there, Lee Smooth and that will dance with people, but I don't know if that would work in helping the sisters. I don't know if anyone else wants to comment. And just before we go to Letitia, Jar Love has said, Lana, let's put our egos on the side and know that we all sometimes happen. But the way we say no and the attitude we have, communicate. Don't be rude, be nice. And that could change a lot of things. Very true. Letitia, over to you. You wanted to make a comment on what was said just previously. Thank you.
My question is that if we know that we have a sister standing next to us who's not getting dances in the night, why are we not recommending them to the people that we have danced with?
Well,
recommending them to say, she's a good dancer. Here's someone I know. I'm going to recommend them for a dance.
I've actually said
not recommending.
Would really like to dance with you. And that is kind of putting them on the spot though. And I didn't really realize until it came out of my mouth. So
yeah. But it's that thing, it's like you have the conversation with them first. You say, oh yeah, I'm gonna have I notice you're not getting any dances. Do you mind if I recommend you for a dance?
No, I'm putting the man on the spot.
No, separately, Georgia. Separately.
Yeah.
Not in front of the lady, so it's not awkward.
It's not in front of the lady. I'm still putting her on the spot, whether she knows that I'm talking about me recommending my friend for a dance. I'm talking to him. She can't hear me. We're dancing.
So I mean,
the spot.
But Georgia, do you know that's cultural actually?
But we live here in the UK. You can't. I mean,
no, it doesn't matter. It's culture. It's Kizomba culture. It's Kizomba culture. We do that in our culture. If I go to the club,
in all the lessons I've been to, no, not once.
But that's the problem. That's another problem to discuss in another show. But I can tell you that the same way that I say that when I used to go in Portugal to go dance, the more I go to the clubs, the more I go to the clubs, I used to go to the clubs, I used to meet other groups. And other guys would come to me or other ladies. Oh, do you mind dancing with my friend? Absolutely. And I see this still happening in the UK, especially in Palop events. This still happens. What we're saying is, I know we are in the UK, but I'm saying is this can be a possible solution of recommendation. I know it's a bit like you said, awkward. You're right. It
was, and until it came out of my mouth, I didn't realize.
Yeah. But I think I must commend what I'm trying to say, Georgia. I must commend you, and this is what Letitia is trying to say. We must commend you from actually trying to help out. Do you know what I mean? Because what you did, I mean, it's actually culturally correct to suggest your friends or a friend of yours that you know that has been waiting for them to dance. You know what I mean?
Can I give you a joke?
If that guy rejects it, then you're gonna say, that guy is a douchebag.
Can I give you a joke? What happened to me last year, February? I was at Chocolate, and there's a lot of young people there. And a young girl came up to me. She says, "Excuse me, you're one of the elders. Do you mind dancing with my mum?" And I was like, I didn't know whether I was
How did you feel?
was insulted.
How was it, Silver Fox?
He
Tell
said,
us.
"You're one of the
Detail,
oldies. You're one of the
detail.
elders. Would you mind dancing with my mum?" And I was thinking, I ain't not that bloody old, you know. But anyway, I danced with her mum, and yeah, it was a nice dance. But she actually came over to me and said, "Do you mind?" I haven't got a problem with it. And mum could have asked me to dance. I would have danced with her anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
she didn't.
mean,
Like you mentioned that. I just remembered that occurred. She said to me, "You're one of the elders. Do you mind dancing with my mother?"
it
You know, I
sticks with
remember
you.
last
It sticks with
Friday.
you.
Bro, what, look, Silver Fox. I'm not silver yet. I'm not
No,
silver
no,
yet.
I am silver. I've
Wait,
shaved.
wait. I
Shaved.
only have some silvers here, but I had to get used to. I was not even 40 yet, and people already would say, "Oh, you're the eldest." I'm like, "What?"
Ah, okay.
Damn. So
Okay.
trust me, it's a compliment.
Yeah.
Just on that point, Novlet, we have to bring you in
Yeah.
here. You're
Yes.
our esteemed guest. If someone is doing the recommendations for you, can you dance with my friend? How do you feel about that? Do you feel like, oh, this is a pity dance, or someone's doing the dirty work for me? Or would you just be grateful that someone's helped you just get a dance? Or you don't take it to heart? How do you feel about that?
I don't take it to heart. I've done it so many times. I've actually recommended women to dance with certain guys. I said, look, he's a good dancer. He's a teacher. You won't go wrong with that person.
So you're
Yeah.
happy both ways to get involved?
Yes. Yes.
Good. So, guys, I mean, look, one thing I want to drop this bombshell. We've only got about 10 minutes left. I experienced this just before, I think just after Urban came mainstream in the UK, 2016 roughly. Someone made a comment to me. They felt like we have to be careful here that maybe the white Europeans kind of bullied or bombarded themselves forward to kind of almost wrangle control of the kind of culture without taking full control, because they can't, because they're not from the culture, but really push their way to the front, which helped push our sisters back. And a sister actually made a comment to me like, oh, they're, they're, it's like they're taking over. And also they, to be fair to them, they invested in the culture. They researched about Africa. They went to these places, Angola. They visited. Novlet and Letitia, do you believe that kind of the white Europeans have kind of stretched everything and like gone about their way, and you guys have been like seeped into the background? If you understand what I'm saying, has that kind of helped push you guys even further back? Do you feel like that, Novlet? Like you're not even there?
No, because I've been to festivals where it's run by a lot of Africans. So no.
No, you feel like, because it was a comment a sister made to me. She felt like, it's our culture, yet we're being pushed to the side, out of it.
But Gary, I would have said to her,
I mean, I said nothing.
friends, do you and your friends travel to festivals? Because the ratio of black women on festivals is very low. So you're saying you've been pushed out. Who has pushed you out and how? What stops you getting on a plane? What stops you buying a ticket? Do you understand? So I don't personally agree with that.
I get that, and also, but maybe if you're not getting dances in London, why the hell are you going to pay $1,000 to go abroad? I would.
The difference is you've got people all in the same place that have come out with one purpose to dance. In a club setting in the UK, it's not the same. We already said this before. Some people come out in London, they come out as paparazzi and Instagram and all of this nonsense, not with a focus of dancing. A lot of men come out not to dance; they come out to drink at the bar. Right? When you're spending your money and you jump on a plane or a ferry or a boat, you're going with a intention that I'm going there for the weekend to dance non-stop. So you're in a place with like-minded people. So the chances are you're going to dance more. Obviously, there's the racial imbalance is a massive problem on festivals, but they've got a like-minded view. They've come here to dance. So for me, people, if you're not going to go and support the festival, You can't say, well, I'm not going to go abroad because I'm not getting us in the UK, because you're just defeated then, aren't you? You might as well give up. But if you're in the UK and you're feeling I'm not getting dancing, like we said before, there's things you can do. Go and ask somebody, go to classes, get better at your dancing, right? You could learn. Look how many women now are leading to get around this issue. There's so many things you can do. Unfortunately, sometimes we don't have enough men on the dance floor. That's a fact. So, you know, whether you're black or white, you're going to have an impact on that. So, but there's things that you could do to remedy that, you know, start leading, you know, ask people to dance, do classes, get familiar with people. Sorry, Emma, you want to jump in?
Can I just jump in here
Yeah,
quickly?
no, go ahead. Please.
I've been to a festival. Winston witnessed it because I met Winston at the same festival. I've been back to the same festival 3 times, and I've noticed the first time there wasn't. You could count how many black women were there on one hand,
Mm.
and then the second time it slightly increased, and it just slightly increased a bit more. But at this is a European festival. But when I've been to a festival in Paris and in Brussels, which
Completely
is
different.
which has been run by Africans, and I've been to one in Lisbon. I'm going to one in Angola. I wouldn't say so much. I haven't been there yet, so I can't say. But the ones I've been with was run by Africans. There's a lot of black women.
Yes, yes, there is.
You,
I agree,
you
100%.
can't say what black women are put aside because if
But
they see their own.
what
And
it is,
when I was in
you're
one
100% right. You're
when
100% right.
I was in the one in Paris last summer,
Mm.
there was a woman there. She dances. I'm not calling her name. She dances at Gemma Chocolate Tuesday,
Mm.
and she doesn't always dance. And when she was in Paris, she said she has to come back to the event.
Mm. Mm.
So I sometimes feel we feel comfortable around our own people. We
Mm.
can express
Look,
ourselves, and
that
it
could be
helps a
true.
lot.
Yeah, that could be true. But in that festival you talk, it's a shame that that festival is now stopped. Right?
Yeah,
It's a real shame.
it
But
is.
that festival, you say there's a lot of black women. There's also a large percentage of black guys.
Yes,
You know, there is.
yes.
Now, it was one of the few festivals where the demographic was heavily black on both sides. But again, that festival, you noticed there were more women. There were probably like 40% more women than guys.
Mm, mm,
So there was a massive gender imbalance at that
mm,
festival. But you found that the people dance a lot because you had different rooms. You had December room. You're going to be tired. You're going to take a break. Then you're going to find somebody else. The big room that we were in. Then we had the small Caribbean room. Then we had the get us room upstairs. There were so many different rooms that you could go into. You're going to get dances. You
yeah.
know, some of the other festivals that we go to, like for the Malagas, for example, you'll find that the big festival,
No
the
chance.
percentage of black women are very small.
Oh,
Mm,
we know why. Yeah, we know why.
Very, very small.
And it's a greater issue, I think, for women. I always say jokingly that save your money and stay home in a nice way, but it's at a really expensive festival and there's no guarantees in any of these. But
Yeah, but then it's mindset, Gary, because remember, you're going on a festival like that. The
mm,
setting is that you can have a holiday, and on top of that, you can have a dance. So you can't say save your money because you can come having a nice time. You can have a nice time at the daytime social, and you can have a nice time if you have the right mindset in the
if you
evening.
do, but if you
It's all
don't,
about mindset.
but
It's
Winston,
not
to be
about
fair,
color.
to be fair, it can be a lonely place. So we
Yeah,
want
but
to weigh the scales up.
okay. Now that is a different subject completely because on that particular issue is an ageist thing and a sexist thing. That festival that we're talking about, there's reasons why people will not get dances at that festival. That's completely different to what we're talking about in terms of black women not getting dances. That is a completely different ball game.
Yeah.
So we have to come back to that as a separate subject completely. Because as I said, I know people that have been to that festival, mature women, and literally they were so demoralized.
Yep. Finished.
They're demoralized. Even younger women, actually, some of them were demoralized. But
Right.
but there's a reason for that. It's an ageist and a sexist thing that is affecting that particular festival.
And of course, we spoke about back to basics, and there's loads of black women as well. And yeah, so Letitia, just before we come to you, and we've just nearly finished the show. Don Rose has said, "I've had women ask me to dance with their friend. I'm flattered to be asked. Always a pleasure, especially for someone new to the dance scene." Thank you, Don. That's really nice of you. In closing,
And Don
guys,
is a brother. And Don is a brother, by the way.
Yes.
That's correct. So, guys, as I said, we don't want to appear to be dismissing or overlooking. That's not what we do. We're very aware of exactly what's going on. We're experiencing it ourselves. We're in the middle. Novlet, before we go, it's a big topic that goes on and on for other shows. What do you feel so far from what we've discussed? How do you feel that? Do you think we're closer to finding any solutions to what we're allegedly looking at?
I don't think we've looked into why the black sisters are not getting dances. Maybe we have, but there are lots of reasons. But it's a question that I don't think has been fully answered.
And it'll take time, but for you, it's not fully answered.
No.
Okay. So, and this is the difficulty of it. Letitia, I know you've been waiting. You would like to add something to what we just said previously?
Do you think that maybe if there are more black artists and assistants represented in festivals, that more black women may attend?
Yeah.
Because they see somebody representing them.
Yeah.
Again, what can we do? Whose responsibility is that? So that's the question I ask you. I mean, what can we do about that? I mean, it's a question, but who's?
Yeah. Can we recommend them to organisers?
Yeah. Me and Dixon's often spoken about people meeting at the table, which for as long as I've been in the scene, everyone's spoken about it. No one's done it, and it's not going to happen. So, who's going to get? It's a valid point, but who's going to, at the end of the day, get this across to the organisers? And who says they want to do that? This is the other issue. So, valid point, no, valid point. So, Super Dixon, in closing, because we have to go now.
Well, what do you want me to say?
I want you to say, are we closer to any solutions in helping our sisters get more dances?
No, not even close.
Not even close.
Not even close. What Letitia suggested, it's like you can see Angolan couples, or you can see some Kizomba couples out there in Europe, and I see it's good to see them out there as black couples having that the opportunity to have their dance partners and to do it together as one, two black couples, I would say. But here in the UK, my brother, they would not give us an air, not even with any couple, any female. They don't want to pay for a dance partner. So for Kizomberos, they will pay for salsa, they will pay for bachata, they won't pay for Kizomba. Mm-hmm. They know that we are a powerhouse and you can do the job. So we have to wing whatever we have on the students that are attending the event. But again, what Letitia said is a valid point. But again, as you can see, I dance with Letitia on a Thursday all the time. You know what I mean? And I kind of try to push her to be on the forefront, even when I know that she doesn't want to be on the forefront. A lot of sisters don't want to be on the forefront. Some do, but it's the level. I think there's only Christina and Sonny Varela. And as you can see, even Sonny Varela, if you go to Jingaboo Thursdays, you will see that we have actually a lot of sisters in the class. And I can guarantee you that they're getting the dances on. And you've seen it. They get in the dances on, but we still have to coach them to have that mindset to prepare them when they go out there to other events that are that are more populated with the dance community. We have our closed environment, but there's out there. If we have to prepare them mentally to go to the other venues to be prepared. And another thing that I've witnessed, for example, I have a student from Watford. She's Jamaican, and she was telling me, "Oh, I always go alone." And I was like, "Why you always go alone?" You know what I mean? Oh, I don't know many people, so I just go. And again, these conversations that I keep having is to understand. And immediately, one of my other students in Watford said, "Oh, I'm going to that event on Friday. Why don't we go together?" This is the thing. It's also, I think, part of the problem is a lot of people in the UK, doesn't matter color or creed or whatever, a lot of people tend to attend events by themselves. Again, for me, it's still a culture shock. I don't understand how people can go alone. I had to learn how to do it because I'm an artist. Otherwise, for me, it's still a bit of a problem. I think I don't know. I don't know. I think people should gather with, but again, Fox gives solutions. I keep saying to people, you should try to gather with groups. Go with the group. In our culture, the women often dance with the women, and eventually they get the dances also. There's a few solutions here. One of them, maybe just maybe, is I know most sisters are actually really good dancers. I remember something that I heard 10 years ago when I was in a festival in Sardinia, and this palop lady approached me and she said, "Why these guys don't want to dance with us? We have a better flow. We dance better. We have the jingle on lock. Why they don't want to dance with us?" And these ladies weren't even like the typical, like say, palop that doesn't want to dance. And the truth is, there's a lot of palop women that don't even know how to dance. They're just there to enjoy the vibe. And it's a tricky one because not everybody's Angolan. That's another thing. You know what I mean? But we are very far from resolving the problem. But I believe that this show, bringing the conversation to the forefront, talking about awkward conversations like this, we hope to bring more awareness to the situation so that we want to see everybody dancing on the dance floor. We don't want to see nobody sat down. We want to have everybody happy. Alas, we cannot make everybody happy, but I must say that it's we need to come back with a part two, maybe with a different twist.
We
But
will, and what we're trying to say is, I
but
will
I'm gonna
read.
say this. I'm gonna say this, bro. Kizomba is still being overlooked by the other dance communities like salsa and bachata. They still overlook down to Kizomba. Therefore, and consequently, they will look down on the sisters. Do you know what I mean? And they still do it. And I'm not gonna play nice in this card, but I believe there's still a very big race card involved in the dance scene in the community. I believe that vehemently. I see it. You all see it. Some of you probably like Emma are oblivious because she's just enjoying herself.
No,
And
I
I
did
think
see it. I feel it as well. I've asked Palop ladies to dance. They don't want to dance with me because I'm white and think I can't do it. I
ah
get turned down a lot, but the sisters will always dance with me and have a lovely time. So
oh, the sister dance with you.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So again, I just think that I just think that this issue, again, there's ways of solving it, but I think is by talking about awkward conversations, uh, uncomfortable conversations like this, that we might get somewhere in the future. Hopefully, in the near future.
Hopefully, we will. And just one
I
thing
can
I would like.
guarantee you sorry, I can guarantee you that I'm actively talking to most black ladies that I see, and I go and I try to elevate them and make sure that they don't feel any awkward. And Novelette, you know that I did this with you when we first met, and I
Yeah.
love to hear that you still get up and dance. Do you know what I mean? Because I feel the pain of these ladies. I know, especially because most of the ladies that are older than me, I feel exactly how my mom feels sometimes. You know what I mean? So I know exactly how it's like. But again, if it's a community, we all have to push together, which means the ladies need to do, the sisters also need to do what everybody's doing, which again, get ourselves out there, invite, try to go to the classes. Like, for example, Emma does, goes to the classes, and just the best way to get to know the new generation of dancers also. And in a shameless promotion way, we're doing this already on the Thursday. Come and see us. You will see that there's the space for you. There's a lot of, we have a lot of black students. So, sorry, brothers and sisters. Sorry, that's what I meant.
So, just on top of that, I'm very big on trying to give women opportunities, black women. And as I said, we asked a number of them to come on the show. Novelet and Letitia, thank you for coming on. But this is the kind of problem that is part of the bigger issue. They don't want to come on, but they want to hide behind the hedge and throw stones. So for me, it's a big one. It's a big one. So, sisters, please take active part. You have to break in and then make the change yourselves. You do need to be present, and change will happen. Emma, any lasting comments before we leave? Because we really do need to shut the show now. Thank you.
I've got no more comments, Gary-O. Honestly, I'm sorry.
Georgia?
I think that we are nowhere near solving any of this, policing any of this, but at least it's got the conversation.
It's got a conversation.
Open and flow. It's the whole point of a show like this.
Mr. Fox,
Obviously,
always wise words. Always
it's
wise
a big
words.
topic. Thank you, Gary. It's a big topic, and there are a few things we can do. We're not going to solve it in a 2-hour show, but I keep saying it. Ask people. Don't sit on the sideline. Ask somebody. I wrote a few things down. I think one of them, Dixon already mentioned it. Attend classes and upskill yourself. Number 2. I was going to say here, Dixon touched on it. Invite more black women from your social circle to get involved in Kizomba, because we do need to grow the scene anyway.
Yeah.
We can employ the switch. We use it on Ginger Brew a lot, but we can all employ that across all the parties that we do. Not the whole night, but just segment early on to get people more familiar with each other. And what we used to do in reggae scene, this is the 5th one I'm going to mention. Gary, you would know this. We used to do a turnaround hour where women had to ask guys to dance.
Yeah.
Do you remember? And sometimes we would sometimes there might be a prize if they found the right guy, right? And they get free tickets and free of the, you know what I mean? But we used to do that and in reggae dances, turnaround time, 1 hour, and the women now have to ask the guys, invite the guys to dance. Dixon's getting excited. But there's small things like that we could do that will sort of break down these barriers. And again, classes, reinforce it in classes that we're there to dance and socialize. We don't need to have 20 dances with one person. You know what I mean? We need to do dance and move on. And in that way, everybody's involved. It doesn't have to be black women. I'm talking about everybody. Then this will help to resolve a lot of problems we've got. And also, as I said, some places we're lacking in guys. For some reason, festivals, particularly you go on festivals, I have no idea why a lot of festivals, guys just don't attend. I just don't get it.
They don't.
I don't understand it.
It's literally 7 or 8 to 1. It's ridiculous.
Some of them, it's embarrassing. And then we that are present were knackered. And literally, even February, back to basic, there was these moments I had to come off of the dance floor and come out to get away, because even when I'm sitting in the communal areas, people coming up to me and say, do you want to dance? And I'm like, I'm trying to rest. I'm knackered.
Out of sight, out of mind, brother. Out of sight, out of mind.
We didn't have enough men. That's the long and short of it. So I don't know what the promoters can do. It's a hard subject to get over, but these are just little chips that we could do to help.
And I think we'll end on that note. Organisers will need to look at, looking after their customers, sisters. It's not going to be easy, and it's not going to be solved in one show. Hopefully one day in the future we'll have a conversation about it. But for now, thank you everyone. Emma, as always. Letitia, thank you for joining us. Hope to see you soon. Georgia, as always, thank you very much.
Thank
Novlet,
you.
brilliant.
Everyone.
Really, really good to have you and your voice. And we hope you'll be back at some point for the other show. Super Dixon, excellent as always. And Mr. Fox, thank you very much. And to our listeners and viewers, we're really grateful. Tonight has been record numbers, way off the scale, guys. So thank you very much. Thank you for bearing with us. And of course, I'd like to say to our sisters, there's been no dismissing. We're not overlooking anything. We're listening to everything. And we're just looking at other things to see if we can get the answer from that. So thank you very much. Join us the next time. See you soon. God bless.
Bye.
Adios.
Bye. Ciao.
See ya.
Boa noite.
Meet.